All right. Okay. Yeah. Hello there, John.
All right, mate.
How are
Welcome
you?
to the Hard Yarns.
Oh, yes. Welcome to
Oh,
the
sorry,
Hard
I've
Yarns.
taken the wrong position.
No, you've done very well. This week's episode, before we get to our guest, is
Brought to you by Kings and Vagabonds. Fuck.
It's not. It's raunchy. Raunchy lager.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right? Is
That's
that who's
right.
brought it? But yeah.
It's actually
There you
good.
go.
It's actually good.
It's a great beer. I like it.
Gonna be
Delby can
a test?
tolerate.
I have taken to only having that. I've cut everything else out of my diet. Raunchy lager.
Our last month and a half has been dietitians and nutritionists and fucking health nuts, and
Yeah.
now it's Pinder just
and
pushing
OnlyFans
piss.
stuff, so raunchy and that goes well together. But
yes.
we are going to be giving some giveaways from Raunchy as well at Up and Joke. So lots to give away, which is May 13th.
May 13th, get your tickets. The link is in the bio, and there's not many tickets left.
Yeah.
It's going to...
It's about 150 tickets left, I think, at a 450-seat venue.
So, you want to get your tickets. They're going to go fast in the last week or so because, like we all men do, we leave everything to the last minute.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to be like, fuck.
Yeah.
And there's well less than half the tickets available than we had for the last show.
Yeah. And I think we're going to put a little section for Patreons because it's a joint venture with the Reapers. I think we're going to have a section. So if you are a Patreon or top level Patreon, we will have a section for you guys. And if you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's like OnlyFans for podcasts where you get more content. So there's 4 or 5 bonus episodes up already from the Exmouth trip.
Yeah. And it'd just be nice for you to support us.
Yeah. And if you're listening to Spotify, press pause, or don't even press pause. Go open your app to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, because that will eventually give us a few dollars a week.
Hopefully.
At the Hard Yarns podcast.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
This week we were joined by Jon Pinder.
Woo!
That's me, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy over there. What did we talk about, John?
We talked about all sorts of things, mate. We talked about compartmentalising the things that you do and not listening to outside voices telling you that you've got to do one thing.
Yeah.
We talked about
Swimming
swimming and how few of us are any good at it.
Yeah. Boxing.
Boxing. We talked about dopamine and shit, mushrooms. Some stuff in there about mushrooms, I believe.
Tattooing.
We tried to get to the bottom of why you have not got a girlfriend.
That could apply to either of us.
We talked about a lot about comedy at the start.
We did talk a bit about comedy.
Yeah,
Learned
Exmouth
some
trips.
stuff, Exmouth trips, bit
A
about
bit of
football.
existentialism.
Yeah, bit of existentialism, bit about your gambling ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little touch on that here and there.
It's like an episode of 2 halves. The first half is sort of
Yeah.
a bit more just like catching up, and then I think we went a bit deeper in the second half from memory. I can't remember.
Yeah,
remember.
sometimes happens, doesn't it? You flap about on the surface for a bit, and then you all take a dive.
Which we're learning to do.
Yeah, which we're learning to do. And then we panic, we hyperventilate, we get out, we never do it again.
So hold your breath as we deep dive, or just fucking put a snorkel in and have a listen to the Hard Yarns podcast featuring Jon Pinder, Cameron Branch, and Daniel Delby. Let's get hard.
Let's get hard.
Let's get hard.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host.
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Branch.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Hey, you look lovely there.
Yeah, I did that at the coffee shop. His local reading co. This lady was like, so...
Wait, local reading co.
The
Read and Co coffee shop.
Read
Oh,
White.
right, okay.
Read White.
I was
We
gonna
just
say,
go to a library together.
Joined a book club.
And the lady at the counter goes, because they listen to the pod,
Yeah.
I assumed that, because last time I went in, the guy knew who I was and I didn't know him.
Mark,
No,
yeah.
he listens to the pod heaps.
God, being famous is so hard.
Oh, it's tough. Then the other lady was like, I thought that she knew me, so
Yeah.
she was looking at me.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, how have you been? Haven't seen you for ages. I was like, I've never seen you before in my life.
It's been even longer for me.
And I go, oh, yeah, good, just really busy. I haven't been back. And then turn around. She's talking to the lady behind me. I was like, fuck.
That's
man.
awful, isn't
So I just
it?
go, sat down.
I sat down in a different coffee shop. I haven't been back since.
Yeah, it's fucked, eh?
That was Kate. She's just left. She's gone travelling around the world.
Oh, yeah?
But she listens, so g'day, Kate. Good luck on your travels.
Yeah, and good to see you again.
And then Mark is, and just coincidentally, who we were talking about potentially getting on as a guest, which is, it's not confirmed yet, but Mark, the owner of that coffee shop, is definitely Bernard from Black Books, Dylan Moran.
By the way,
he is 100%.
that reminds me, huge news, bro.
Please say
I heard back from Dylan Moran's pod manager.
And he said,
she said,
I should
Getting Dylan Moran on it.
Yeah,
that's sick,
mate. If that happens, if
he's
it actually,
a very, very funny guy, but I look better in a leather jacket.
mate, it's a bucket list. Black Books. I still watch Black Books.
That's a lot of people's favourite thing that they go back to, isn't it?
And that and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Sol's favourite film, Shaun of the Dead.
Potentially my favourite. It's definitely my favourite comedy film of all time.
Yeah.
Potentially one of my favourite films of all time,
Yeah,
just because of how
good.
fucking clever it is.
So I heard from Dylan Moran's manager. That's what I was saving the good news, man. She said, "Hi Daniel, thanks for your email. Now that the tour is just about sold out, Dylan is not doing any more interviews. I'm sorry."
You're a fucking asshole.
But the positive is we heard back.
That you've just.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't expect a response.
My heart is
nice
broken.
to be responded
My heart
to.
is broken.
So I wrote my co-host's head would have exploded if Dylan agreed. He is a huge fan of Black Books.
Yeah.
No good. But we heard from Michael Bublé, and they said, unfortunately, he's not doing any media.
He hit up.
You were going to get Michael Bublé?
No, I just asked.
That would have been a great substitute for Dylan Moran.
We are just swinging for the stars now. Just fucking anyone.
Yeah, I just
throw
emailed
out-
and said, look, Bublé is one of the answers I give for when people say, who would you have at your dinner table? And I
You
just
always
said,
say Michael Bublé.
I don't know what it is. I think I saw him in concert and he was like, cool, man. Like he was just, he was like normal.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's, if I ever become a celebrity, that's who I want to be. That guy that's down
you
to
want to
earth.
be like him.
Yeah. And it just stuck in my head. And she said,
Didn't something happen with him recently?
I think his kid is really sick, or his wife.
Yeah, but something bad was said about him. Like
People say a lot
naughty
of bad stuff
And
about
but
Michael
yeah,
Bublé.
but he had to go to court or something. It was
really?
It was like
Like
abuse
proper
or
bad?
something. Yeah, or
I can't imagine it.
Alcoholism.
I can't imagine it. He looks like a little chipmunk
Doesn't
that's
he?
come out of an Easter egg.
yeah. He's
Do you know what I mean? Like if I met Michael Bublé, it'd be very difficult for me to not smush his little. Oh, you're fucking. Ooh.
my dream is if we to get him on, he sing a Christmas carol, and I could just play it for Scotty.
Yeah.
Well, that would be fucking.
Does she like Bublé?
She loves anything that's Christmas carols, but yeah, she loves Jingle Bells. Michael
Cute.
Bublé's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jingle
With the girl
But-
backup singing.
Yeah.
Jingle bells, yeah.
Jingle bells.
I can't beat the Mean Girls version of Jingle Bell Rock.
But she, the annoying fucking thing about, and I love Scotty, but fuck, she'll get halfway through the song and then go start it again or go to another one. And it'll be like,
another
all
song?
I want for Christmas. And then stop it and then go to the next one. She's like,
what
got
are they blending in her head?
No, yeah, she's got like a 90-second
She's
thing.
DJ.
So I'll give her the
She's got a
Spotify
90-second
and
Christmas
she'll
medley.
control it. And I'll be like,
That's
oh.
TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
She's got the
That's how
remix
it
happening.
works.
But I'm the same. I get a bit bored of songs sometimes.
Well, Christmas songs, surely.
Yeah,
I was
especially
taking
when
the
you
piss.
start
The only
playing
one
them
you
at
can't get bored of is a
Home Alone. Yeah.
It's like,
That's
oh,
so
fuck,
good.
it gives you goosebumps.
What
and
is
shit.
your
Yeah.
favourite one, actually? Is it that? Would it be that
Favourite
one?
Christmas song?
I like that.
There's another one.
Santa baby.
Oh, you like Santa Baby? Do you know, I've never heard
You
it.
just want you like the video clip, don't you?
Well,
Is that Ariana Grande?
Ariana is, she's the fucking.
I think my favourite would
She's
be.
the one for me.
I think my favourite would be. It's beginning to look like Christmas. I don't know why. Just gets me a bit.
Yeah.
It is.
When you start hearing it in shopping centres.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Is anybody's favourite All
And
I
it's-
Want for Christmas Is You?
But no.
No one has.
No, it can't
But
be.
it is the most. It's made the most money out of any song, I think, in the
Is it
world.
really? Is it,
Yeah.
Is it the biggest selling song?
I have
It's
I remember doing a quiz question. I think Mariah Carey's All I Want for
Isn't it
Christmas
one- yeah,
has
the-
made millions and millions.
Isn't it one of the biggest selling songs of all time, specifically because of that?
Yeah, I think because it gets on repeat.
Yeah.
I was just taking the piss, but Dylan Moran's manager has emailed back and said, "Hi Delby, can I add you to my database? I have coming up and releases attached Mark Norman, which will be sick, and then John Edward.
Oh Jesus!
Psychic.
Can we get? What
That would be pretty sick.
What the fuck are you doing with me on it?
Yeah, because
this is your fucking clientele, dude.
Because you're lovely.
There's a couple others I'm not sure who are. 10cc, that could be a
10cc sounds like a pop group.
or a really bad scooter in Bali.
Yeah, imagine if you got a scooter on
It's
it.
called a push bike.
Just propped it up here. Anyway, what's it like
It's a
in
pushy.
Bali?
Taylor Tomlinson and Nate Bargatz. So we'll have to have a look
Ah,
at them.
Nate Bargatze, that'd be fucking amazing.
Stand
There's
up?
a lot of people that love Nate Bargatze. I don't get it.
I don't know him.
David Hughes is big into him because he works completely clean as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's still very funny, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Can you do
Seinfeld.
it?
Be funny and clean?
Yeah.
Only when I'm rapping.
Yeah, because rap works the same as a joke because there's like that little free fall in the sentence where it's like, how's he gonna fucking tie a bow on this? And then you do, and that's impressive.
Yeah. And then I guess my teacher stuff.
Wedding celebrant stuff?
Yeah, but even that's not really clean because I swear and that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not really. I think I've been forced to do it when I opened for Joe Avati. His rule is no swearing, has to be clean.
Yeah.
Seinfeld's
so
like
I had
that as
10
well, eh?
minutes of that.
Seinfeld's
Is
the
that a
same.
bit blurry? No.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it every now and then, can't you? The clean thing, but it's always
It's
to put-
difficult.
you like feel yourself. I remember I did it like a Catholic primary school thing once, and I was with. Who was I with? I think it was Sean Conway and that.
That same
But it was
sentence
like,
has been said by the
well,
Pope.
you don't want to. They go, can we just keep the swearing to a minimum and just don't say anything bad about the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
And
there's
so
nothing
you've got,
bad to
like-
say about the Catholic Church.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're squeaky clean.
But you don't. I always get a sense, mate. Same as at corporate gigs, I always get a sense that that's not what they want.
That's not what
though.
they want.
That's just you saying that.
Yeah.
And one of the tricks that I've learned to do in corporates is to, before my spot, go in the toilets and listen to how the fellas talk to each other.
Yeah.
And usually you'll see that they're normal people. Because you go in there with this illusion in your head that they're like super straight-laced and very dull people. But they're, this is fucking all right, isn't it? How's that fucking, the fucking tits on her, mate. This is just normal fucking people. In fact, they're probably a bit worse.
Most corporates are doing fucking
up.
lines in the toilet.
Yeah. And so I tend to, you start out nice and clean, and then you just start drip feeding them little bits of sass.
Yeah.
And then the more they find you like it, so I just edge my way forward.
I wonder if
by
you
the
even,
end of it, it's filth.
If you even just go, guys, I've been told that I'm not supposed to swear in this. What do you want? Do you guys want the clean set or the dirty set?
Yeah.
After you've won them over.
Well, I couldn't. That'd make me too nervous to do because then they'd go. I know that they'd go, dirty, give me the dirty stuff.
All right,
none
you
of my,
cunts.
None of my stuff's that bad.
Yeah.
All my stuff sits somewhere right in the middle. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, well, I've already given you the piss flat bit. It's about as bad as it gets.
I don't know if I should say that opener that
Sorry, is this blurry to you guys?
No, you're a fucking idiot.
Am I blurred?
You're blurry. Is
that a bit blurry to
It's
you?
a filter.
It's in your eyes, mate.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean,
No?
we've both had a foggy few
Is
days.
it the incense?
I don't know what it usually looks like.
No,
I
it's-
look fucking
Yeah,
magnificent.
you look great.
It's on,
Okay.
I think.
It's on autofocus.
If anything,
as well,
it's a
Delby.
little bit too sharp.
If I
on me.
like move in and out, is it it doesn't matter?
Just fucking it's fine.
I'm just giving gobbies to the
Yeah,
mic.
yeah.
Okay, sorry, Branch, what were we saying?
I can't remember. Oh, Legacy's opener is very.
Oh,
how he sets
Does
it.
he have an opener?
Well, no, I don't know if it's. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Adam Gray.
No, he just when he was trying to. It was during Fringe, and I don't know how often he says this one, but he's like, "Can I be? How we going? Like, what's the vibe?
PC or not
PC or not PC?"
Right,
and they're like,
okay.
"We'll go the hard." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah. What's up, faggots?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah. Isn't that such
It's
a
so
weird one, that
straight in.
word?
Yeah.
Because it's one of them that's like, ooh, that's the
yeah.
F word now. We
Yeah, but
don't say that word ever. But anytime it's ever said in a comedy club, it goes off.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost lost its initial insult. Like, I don't feel like if I go, you faggot. Like, I don't think that implies
I think it's such a funny word.
Same.
It's so harsh. It's got like musically, it's slapping.
Yeah, but it's like the Louis C.K. bit. It doesn't even mean a gay dude anymore. It's just a faggot is someone that's just like, you're a poor cunt.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's lost the implication.
Maggot has the same.
Yeah.
The same slang to it.
Oh, you
like
little
if you
rat.
say, if you call someone a maggot, it's like really harsh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a fucking.
I only say
I feel like
maggot.
I feel like
Lost my
maggot's
temper.
worse
Maggot's horrible.
than faggot.
Because they're disgusting. A maggot is
Yeah,
disgusting.
you guy's a fucking maggot. That's like hateful.
Yeah.
You go, oh, he's a faggot.
Maggots
That's
come
like
out of a bin.
he's a fucking poor cunt.
Well, that's what you call the umpires.
What? Maggots.
Maggots, do you?
Everyone calls umpires
No,
maggots.
that's when they used to wear white.
Yeah.
I call them dumb cunts.
Dumb.
Yeah, it's like fucking. I feel sorry for
How you
umpires.
getting on with all your betting and
Nah,
stuff?
not good.
Is it not good? Is it a downward?
First 3 weeks.
Because we said as we arrived here that it was we were having a funny turn last few days.
Yeah,
We've become foggy.
I hit a few good wins in the last 2 weeks, but the first couldn't. I was very, 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 very fucked over. Like Kasai Pickett, 2 goals 5. I needed him for 3.
Right.
Fucking Zerha, 2 goals 5. I needed him for 3. These were all for like thousands of dollars, and it was just like.
Have you got a good shot of me pretending I know what he's talking about? Does it convince him?
You maggot.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. It got to a point where I messaged him saying, "Are you sure you need a break, mate?"
Yeah.
Because he's getting angry.
Of course.
Proper angry.
Yeah, it really affects you, eh?
And because
there's money involved.
It
You've
is
got skin in the
gambling.
game.
It's not like because
for me it's called winning.
Well, it's not like because he's trying to miss that goal, for example, and he'll hate on him.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. So
it's personal.
Or
have you found that you've had bets on people because you interview footy players sometimes?
Yeah.
Do you have grudges against some of them? Like you remember when they fucked you over?
Delby definitely does.
100%.
Do you talk to them about it on the pod?
Nah, it's because it's not.
Because they're just doing their best.
Yeah. But if it's positive, I do. Like Shep, I was like, Shep, I used to make so much money off you.
I told Shep straight up I fucking hated him back in the day in our episode. I hated, I despised him, and then he became my favourite player.
Really? Because
he changed positions. They changed his positions. And
politically.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just, he was, as a passionate Eagle supporter, anytime I seen a player do poorly and be soft or whatever, I hated it. Yeah. And then he became the most consistent, hard-nosed, just
what happened
could
to
not
him?
beat him.
What made
they changed him from half forward to half back, and he just fucking...
Just the position changed?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was just an incompatibility with where he was
potentially, playing. And the team structure and who was around him.
It's like having someone as an opener and then putting them as a closer, and it changes. Or an MC compared to a headline.
Yeah,
just different role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to put it in comedy terms for you.
Yeah, put it in some way.
No, but you've done some stuff with the footy. You did that thing with the with Elliot.
I love it spectacularly.
I love
you
that
learning
one.
to kick with Elliot. Yeah, so good.
Do you know I had trouble with that because the things that he was teaching me, some of them I was just good at straight away. Like not good at, but I did successfully straight away. Yeah. So we were doing extra takes so that I could try and fuck them up. Like that one that we thought that I'd never be able to do, that weird bendy kick where you saw
the banana,
trying to curl it round.
Yeah.
I did that in one. It was like a pearl. I was like,
fuck.
Whoops.
Done.
Well, I had to try and play it off. I was like, I better celebrate extra so that we might be able to use the take, because I was like, I can't fail at things.
Yeah.
It's such a
it's hard.
A naturally gifted athlete.
Yeah.
It's that's become the easy kick now in football.
Is that the easy one?
Yeah, they do it as a safety thing in front of goals now.
Oh, do
They'll
they?
bend around and snap it instead.
I feel like that's probably because why do you think that is?
Room for error. Less room for error.
Because there's more purchase on that part of the ball. Even if you don't hit it perfect, it's still going to go in a straight line.
It'll go straight.
But if you hit a drop punt slightly off,
it can go left or right. Yeah.
So maybe the actual So we're going to put it.
I'll get it.
I think maybe the traditional thinking could be off, where the drop punts are meant to be the most accurate. Maybe they're actually not, because there's more room for error if your technique's wrong. And whereas if you snap, there's way more room.
Don't know what you're talking about. My kicking's perfect, Delby.
Yeah, mine's horrific.
You just play? You play footy?
I played on the weekend, first time this year.
Yeah,
I need to play.
Do you play, Delby?
No, I want to. I was supposed to try and play with him, but he just left me out. So.
Why?
I didn't
Because our team's good now.
Oh, okay, yeah. And you don't want because you've built up a rapport,
No,
you've
he
got
can
credibility, and
yeah.
if you bring him and he turns it to shit or throws a tantrum or something.
Or I could be awesome.
Well, he came out. We went for a kick in Exmouth.
Fuck, my kicking is horrific.
And I was like, yeah, get him out here. After that kick in Exmouth, now I'm second guessing myself.
But I'm not a kicker, man. I'm a.
You're not a kicker, and
I'm a team. I'm a team player. I'm the moral. I tell jokes. I put off
I bring
opposition.
the oranges.
Yeah.
Well, Fish played.
I
on the
take big
weekend.
hangs. Yeah,
Fish played really well, and Fraser McInnes played. He full forward.
He's meant to be a great team man.
Yeah. But we played next to each other, full forward, full pocket, and I pulled my hammy in like the first quarter almost, or strained it slightly. I could play enough that I could play out the rest of the game. But mate, like first couple of minutes, someone came across my leg. And it just rolled my ankle.
Stop jerking him off.
Outwards. It like literally rolled my ankle outwards. It was fucking huge. Like when we were filming yesterday at for Up and Joke, and then and even like you forget a little thing. So I went up for a mark, and a guy went to spoil it. Totally unintentional. Just fucking punched me in the face.
Unintentional.
It was
Corey White special.
And you forget, like you don't notice it during the game. I guess your adrenaline's going. Then the afternoon and that night, you're like, why the fuck is my? That's right. Yeah.
Plus, you got a little jaw, so
yeah.
Have you been hit in the face often in your life?
Yeah, I think a few.
Do people target you for it?
No.
Do you mean at footy or outside of footy?
Just in your life. You know, when you meet some people, you're like, I bet when he's pissed, he's the one that people pick on.
Yeah.
I am. I fucking don't like him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I know you, so I know that you're lovely and that you have a good heart.
He's a bit of an irritant when he's pissed.
Yeah, but I've also seen you striding about a theatre where you can't. And I bet there'd be some fellas that would be like, not having him.
Yeah, no,
Do you know what I mean?
I am annoying drunk. I like to think
it depends on the scenario.
It's not when I say annoying. It's not like I'm not a cunt. I'm not one of those arsehole drunks.
No.
I'm like playful and kiddish and immature and childlike.
Yeah, but like guys that go the other way when they drink, especially ones if they've got a little bit of insecurity in them. It's like it goes like a schoolyard thing. There'd be an almost I can take advantage of him.
Yeah,
like I can decide to not like him, and he's the one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's called bullying, I think.
Bullying, yeah.
I think
be a bully.
Have you seen Wolfie drunk?
Never.
So that that's me.
What do you mean?
But on a.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen you drunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I fucking bundled you into a fucking taxi, mate.
In the last Up and Joke.
Yeah, it was the last.
That's right. Yeah. You put me in the boot of a taxi.
That was just
from
before.
memory.
Yeah, that was just before Adam Gray had to try and fucking save the day because everybody was kicking off. Wolfie was upsetting a dude. There was a guy in full fucking Muay Thai high guard.
That's right.
Trying to kick everybody's head in on the street, trying to beat his own best mates up. Adam Gray told him that he'd like to have sex with him. Just to throw him off because he was like giving it fighting talk. I'd let you have sex with you, pal.
Was that
See, the
somebody
geezer didn't know what to do with it. You know? Like,
had he been to Up and Joke or was he just
No, he was just out around the street trying to pick fights.
I bet you he didn't know how outnumbered he would have been.
Literally, everybody had left.
Oh,
we were the last ones there. We were just trying to get Wolfie safely to the Chinese. Wolfie had climbed in the boot of an Uber, and now I'm like trying to protect Wolfie from the Uber guy putting him in trouble. He's like, I'm calling the police. I'm not fucking having this. I'm like, Andrew, get out. Andrew, you don't belong in the boot.
Jesus. Well, we got part 2 coming up, May 13. We just had a full day of filming.
Where's that at? Where's that one?
Varsity
in Whitfords.
Yeah, so
we won't run out of alcohol this time.
Yeah,
and I might not have to get naked.
Yeah.
Oh. Surely that's what's selling the tickets.
Yeah.
Well, potentially. I'm not going to give away too much what people are going to see.
Yeah. Actually, after the pod, I want to run what I have to do by you guys as well.
Oh,
just the first part. I'm going to keep writing till tonight, but
yeah. But we did have a chicken running around.
What's gonna be happening up in Joe? So it's another live pod.
Yeah. Oh well, no live pod.
Oh, no live pod.
Well, yeah, no.
So it's what a comedy show.
We're going to have, stand up. It's basically a variety.
Yeah.
It's almost like the last one, except for the entry will be way more intense.
Oh, fuck.
More intense than the last one?
Yeah.
We got helicopters. We got fucking...
Yeah.
Fuck off. You never got helicopters.
Yeah.
Helicopters?
Yeah, like real one.
We went flying.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you get helicopters?
Well, Corsair,
shout out. Corsair. We had Luke Wiley on from Corsair, an iPod, and he's good mates with Whitey. So like he was kind enough to donate a helicopter. So
and we're gonna push Dylan Moran out of that helicopter. We've really upped this fucking up and joke thing.
Mate,
we got like Attention 11 preview, and then a few more videos, continuation of our past characters.
Yeah.
And then Who's Rhyme, some interactive games, lots of giveaways from like Rusty and Raunchy, all the R's.
So David Floggins.
And a few special guests, international celebrities.
Yeah.
So, it should be cool.
So David Floggins, Earl Harbour, Chicken King and Del Ivory are all back.
Yeah,
Biggie
I think Del Ivory's one is going to be pretty funny after what we did.
Like, mate.
I felt fucking so, like, I won't give anything away, but
someone cried.
We felt
someone cried.
Horrible.
Someone cried. What, one of you guys?
Nah.
A member of the public? You made someone cry?
We didn't make them cry. They chose to cry. That was their...
I've made a decision.
Yeah. That was their choice and reaction.
And I don't think that's even making the actual night. It's only going to make it a post credit.
Yeah. It'll be funnier as the post credit, I think.
Yeah. Because we redid it again.
The boys never have permission, but I think it's like, what's the rule? If you film something in public, it's
public space.
Surely you can't just film someone crying.
No. We didn't film them crying.
Oh. Well, I'm not coming then.
Yeah. I was coming. It was fucking got me off.
Jeez.
I mean, it's intense. There's a lot of cum in this show as well, man.
Oh,
right.
There is a lot of cum in this one. Fake cum, but cum. Lots of cum shots.
Fake cum, still cum.
Yeah.
It's all toilet humor at the moment.
It's genuine.
It's poo.
So we've gone far to the extreme. We've gone way further extreme in what we've tried to achieve in regards to like production value.
Yeah.
But made it worse.
Because I want that fake cum to look real.
Yes. And then
it's Hollywood cum.
And then just gone even further lowbrow. Just lowbrow. Yeah. But it's just we're leaning into
it's probably perfect for the people. Like it's going to be fun.
I think it's
just going to be fun.
Fun.
Like the last one was fun.
Well done. It's probably going to be perfect for those morons that were there last time.
Well, they were getting the dicks out.
Dumb cunts that were getting the dicks out on the balcony in that beautiful theatre.
So good.
But speaking of fake cum, we had my mate Liam Ellis on from OnlyFans. There is a product which is fake cum that they use for pornos. Yeah.
What do you mean? How do you distribute it?
I don't know. I think off camera they
squeeze a tube.
Yeah.
Tape it to the side of your willy and squeeze it.
Must do.
There must be.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
We didn't ask that.
I suppose you change the shot, don't you?
And
then
angle,
the intended recipient of that, you just squirt it at them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we can attest for a shot like that.
Something like that.
Out of screen.
This is some highbrow shit.
Yeah.
Up in joke too. Make sure you're at it.
Yeah. Yeah. It should be fun.
Oh, that shot. There's one scene that is going to make my night.
You reckon it has? I didn't see how it looked on the video. I ran out of there because I was laughing too much. And I just didn't want any randoms walking in as that was happening.
Bro, it's the most fucked up scene ever. It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
Are you gonna release it post gig, or is it one of them you got to be there if you want to see it things?
I feel like most of the stuff will be there if you want to see it because I'm happy to hold on to stuff even if it takes a year to go to Sydney and do it.
Yeah.
Like if we release it, we won't have a show to bring over.
Of course.
We could film more, but just filming everything and timing and stuff is so much time. And we just got back from Exmouth with you.
Yeah, you did.
Apparently.
Yeah, I was there. We had such a nice time.
How was your experience up there? I think that gaming fishing one looked pretty.
Loved it. Yeah, it was a good gig. I enjoyed it. It was a rough gig because I went.
Did you do Froth Brewery?
Nah, we did. It was for the GameX fishing competition. So
for homosexual Mexicans.
It was at the it was GameX.
Yeah.
And I did all my homosexual stuff. They loved all that.
Yeah.
We listened to Morrissey after. I crashed at one of their houses. It was hot.
Yeah.
No, we did. It was just all fishermen people.
Fisher people. Sam Smith?
Fisher people.
Fisher them?
A bunch of fisher-thems. He's a rotter, isn't he, Sam Smith?
Bro.
I'm not having him.
No,
I don't know what's going on.
All around supporting transgender community, and they're right, and I'm thrilled for that.
It's not the transgender thing; it's him specifically.
Yes,
he's like
he's gone
face.
It's gone weird.
It's weird, attention-seeking, antagonistic, like. Oh.
Yeah. And I
Noel Gallagher
like
got moaned at on the internet because he called him a dickhead.
Really?
Just called him a dickhead. Yeah. They're like, no, dickhead's not the problem. You called him him. And that's
oh
the
my God.
Oh, fuck.
It's like,
wow.
Like on the top 5 people in the world who wouldn't give a shit about things like that would be Noel Gallagher.
and the other one would be his brother.
And he wouldn't.
Noel and Liam.
Yeah, Liam wouldn't have even fucking known he'd said it.
Yeah.
He would have been
He
going, what?
probably doesn't. Yeah, Noel Gallagher probably doesn't know that he said it.
So,
we went to
Game
Exmouth.
X?
Yeah, we did that. And I went, is this going to be, I get nervous at stuff like that. I said, is this going to be a nightmare for me? Because it's like city kid material. I'm a pom.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, am I going to be able to connect with them?
You're an exotic foreigner to them.
Yeah. Like I'm like a strange fish
Yeah.
they've never seen. So Squirrely goes, I know, you'll be all right. I'm going to have an hard time.
Yeah.
And I thought, he's just saying that to comfort me. But he wasn't. He had a nightmare of it. He was getting heckled hard.
By
Because
a woman?
he was local?
By that woman?
Yeah, by that woman. Did he tell you about
He
it?
said on the
she was
trip
a
up, but yeah, you
fucking
can
nightmare.
tell us.
Yeah, she was like you know when you think, ooh, a heckler, fun.
Yeah.
We've got interaction now. We can get some juice going.
Yeah.
But she was the opposite of conducive to
So,
comedy. She was a
heckler.
nightmare. Yeah.
So
and
she was a
like,
proper heckler.
We're the first female fishing team that's ever been. And like, I only found out later because I was happy to believe that. I was like, oh, first female fishing. And like, all of the lads were like, they're not. Like, I know of several. I know several.
Yeah.
But they're, I don't know. It's political.
What is she?
Fishing's political,
Was that the
man.
one that was having a
She had
crack
the
at-
daughter there as well?
She had a daughter there as well, and Squirrel, sort of ticked her. But he was doing just classic sort of heckler put downs.
Yeah.
And then it put him right off.
Yeah.
And every time he'd try and move into some material, she was then going, no, nothing.
They are the worst.
Zero. You know, like,
Is that
She wouldn't let him off the hook, you could say.
Oh, Delby. Was this the same?
first one.
shit got
Was that the
real.
Yeah. He was just baiting him though.
Yeah, I got nothing.
It's nice to be back on the hard yard.
Yeah.
Is that the same gig or the way of Tarbo? Or
Yeah. No, different.
Karatha?
No.
But the same fucking heckler by the sounds of it.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah, she was a nuisance.
Yeah. We had that at confessional. And it was fucking like so annoying because the confession was I gave my husband a blowjob and my teenage son was 5 meters away and didn't hear. Was 5 meters away on his phone and didn't hear.
Oh.
Now, I think the way it was written,
Oh.
they probably meant she was in one room, he was in the other.
Yes.
I think.
Rather than just standing
Rather than just
opposite
sitting
each
there.
other.
Because obviously I was like,
Yeah, because the language didn't hear implies.
yes.
Yeah.
Whereas if she'd said he was 5 meters away and he didn't even see.
Yeah. So I said, like, I
blind.
riffed. I was like, I'm telling you, your kid knows. He was just on his phone going, this isn't happening. This isn't happening.
Yes,
This isn't happening.
yeah.
I said, either that or your kid is deaf and blind and dumb. Your kid could be Helen Keller. And then this lady goes, no, move on.
Oh,
I was like,
she wasn't having that.
What? She goes, don't take the piss out of deaf people. There's nothing wrong with being deaf. I'm like, I'm not. I think you're missing the point.
Yeah.
I'm
I
taking
think
the
you
piss out of the
misheard me.
mum. Yeah. We're taking the piss out of the mum. She goes, move on. I go, why? Because I referenced the person that existed because Helen Keller was real. And Cam's like, what? You can't handle a historical fact? And she goes, move on. I was like, no. This is our show. We'll decide when we move on. Thanks. And then Cam's like, everyone give her a round of applause for fucking up the show.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Did people...
Started clapping.
Did she
and then-
leave?
Nah. We didn't ask her to leave.
Yeah.
But then she left at the end. And I was like, who the fuck? She's cool with everyone fucking people's wives, boyfriends, shitting in public, fucking every other confession. But the minute that something affects them personally, not funny anymore.
Yeah,
Not funny. Move on.
I had a lady come at me on Instagram because I did a tweet ages back that said, I've just seen, and it was true, I'd just seen it while I was driving. I said, I've just seen a
So you
cyclist.
tweeted while driving?
Yeah, I run him over and then I pulled up. I've seen this geezer on a bike wearing camo.
Was it a 10cc?
So I said, I've just seen a fella on a bike wearing camo. It's as if they want us to run them over as much as we want to run them over. And this lady came at me.
Christ.
And then I thought, like, it was like, it got taken down.
Who by?
By Instagram.
What?
And I just, like, before it sort of wipes it, I just saw the person had commented on it being like, usually I think you're very funny, but this is a new low. This is
Probably
terrible.
because her husband got hit by a car.
And I quickly screenshotted it so I could get the handle, so I could message, because I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, her husband's been hit by a car or something like that. He's a cyclist or something.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to like make that right and go, look,
It's not up to
sometimes
you, but-
I think of stuff that I think's funny, and then I say it before I've thought.
But it
whether
is
it's
funny,
gonna
and
hurt
it has
anybody's
nothing. That's
feelings.
just her personal context.
Yeah.
So she goes, I really appreciate that, John. Thank you. Like I said, I've heard you on the radio and I've been to some of your shows before, and usually I think you're funny. It was just that in this case, my son rides a bike. And I just don't think that. And it was like nobody had died.
You fucking
Nothing
loser.
had happened. Just her son had a bike.
What a fucking loser.
He just had a bike and rode it. And it was like, hey, we
What
don't
was your
talk about
response?
people with... I didn't go cunty. I was just like, yeah, no, that's all right. Anyway, if you see us at a gig, feel free to come up and say hi.
Fuck that bitch.
And then I was like, but I regretted apologizing.
Yeah,
I became
never apologise,
I
bro.
became a little
Oh,
bit...
Delby's
Well, because
learned
I
Learn.
only wanted to apologise if I'd hurt someone's feelings.
No.
But I hadn't hurt her. She'd hurt her own feelings. She decided
Yeah.
Yeah.
to cry.
Exactly. It was
Do
her
you know
choice
what I
to
mean?
react.
She
Yeah, she
decided
chose
to
that
cry.
behaviour.
Yeah.
Well, she chose that behaviour.
It's true. She chose to be offended, and it had absolutely nothing to do with you. Nothing.
Yeah, it was. But after that, I started to be a little bit less careful
Yeah.
about stuff like that. I still don't go out my way to hurt anyone's feelings.
None of us
but I'll be
do.
a little bit more, a
none
little
of
bit
us
less
do.
careful.
Are you doing that on like so Kings and Vagabonds? Obviously, like that's out there forever. Once you put the episode out there, and I think at the start we were very anxious about saying things like. And
I've gotten way looser now.
Yeah, now
Right.
sort of just say it.
Well,
fuck it.
I think that's a sign of the times as well, isn't it? Because it, like, as it's gone on, those people, the outraged people, have become a sort of meme of themselves.
Yeah.
So now even the people in the middle that didn't care
Yeah.
don't like those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
See-
even the people that were like, yeah, that is a bit rough. You probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
They're more sick of these people than
Yeah.
they are of you saying the dodgy thing. It's
100%.
like, all right, you've got to be able to just...
Chill.
You can't live
Too
in a
much
world where
outrage.
nothing's
Yeah. And
mean. The world's mean, dude. It's mean. It's a mean place.
Yeah.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
I think.
Yeah.
And now,
Oh yeah. Go.
yeah, you go.
Well, I was going to say, I think Delby said it a few times. You can't shelter everyone from everything, otherwise we're going to create this fucking generation.
And you can't get through life without fucking upsetting someone.
yeah.
Like even me, like none of my stuff is
Nothing.
really
None of yours is offensive.
Yours is
really
But
offensive
as
stuff.
somebody that likes crows, I find it absolutely.
Matt Storer said a thing once about
I just like Matt Storer,
you'd be
and I'm angry.
walking out of the lounge and he goes, you imagine one day there's a crow on the staircase. I heard what you said.
It's from Adelaide.
yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah, and as a relative of John Hughes, I think that is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. That guy, he must be sick of hearing that from other people about that bit.
Yeah.
So many people have come up to me and gone, I work with John Hughes.
Oh, really?
And I told him about that bit and I showed him a video of that bit. He must be like, oh, I am sick
You know
to
what would be
death
so
of this
good?
fucking bit.
If you could get him as a guest on Kings and Vagabonds,
Yeah.
or even
To
just
get
get him
John
in the
Hughes.
audience.
Do you know, I would
He would
like
be a
to,
good interview.
I would love to interview John Hughes. I did
Yeah.
a corporate a little while ago and he was doing the keynote speech type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the MC had to tell the people off for talking over him. It was like one of them kind of corporates. All these little
Rats.
ugly wankers.
Maggots.
in their first suits they've ever bought. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they're at this work event. They all think they're fucking Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Ill-fitting suits that they think are fitting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like tight as shit. Like you can't.
Yeah.
And they were just talking over him, and it was like, dude, this guy's like, whatever you think, he might be a cartoon to you because
Yeah.
of his adverts and shit like that. But the dude's still
to make a living off flipping cars and then being known for that one
and to
thing.
maintain it for like that level, that sort of career. And he was doing this speech, and then when I got on,
did you do your bit after?
I did do the bit.
How'd it go?
I did do the bit, but he'd already left.
Oh,
but there was a point where I got on there because I said to Soph, I said, "This could be a really rough gig. Just watch this." She goes, "I've seen rough gigs before." No, you haven't seen corporate rough gigs.
Yeah.
This could be embarrassing for you to see me like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
And so I'm doing the thing, and nobody's listening. And then somebody shouted to the rest of the room, "Shut up!" And I went, "Oh, don't fucking worry about it. If they're not going to listen to John Hughes of all people, do you know what I mean?
They're not going to listen to Jon Pinder.
Yeah, he's only like a Perth fucking legend. They're not going to listen to him. I'm not expecting fuck all from these people."
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare.
Did your joke hit though? For
the joke hit. Yeah. As soon as I went off, I thought, yes, I've got him. And as soon as I moved off, they were back to.
Wow. Yeah. What was the call? What was it? Was it a car thing or was it just a?
No, it was. I don't think it was a car thing. I can't fucking remember what it was. It might have been a sport thing. I think it was a sport thing.
And you and
but
sports
I think he'd been as you know, me and sports. I'm the go-to guy.
They were just having all the Johns in order. Yeah, John Hughes, then Jon Pinder,
we were just
John
up to J in the alphabet. Yeah,
and then John Q.
Nah, I think he'd been a sponsor of the club for years.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
It would, but it would be a fucking great interview, I think.
Yeah, I think
I reckon it would. Yeah,
because he would have seen the change from like almost awesome car, literally from early days to there. And the only competitor I can think of in Perth with cars would be Big Rock Toyota, and they don't even do that anymore on the radio. Do you remember the Big Rock Toyota?
No, it was Big Rock Toyota.
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty fucked. Now you think about it, they had a big red Indian.
Oh, really?
And it was a big rock in front of the Toyota with an Indian on it.
So they really? Oh, that's why they can't do it anymore.
But then all Rockingham smoked it all. No, it's just. Can you think of any other cars? No birds, maybe.
It's because it's a person. It's because his name's on it. People always like to go, "Oh, that's that fella."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like Harvey Norman. If I'd met Harvey Norman,
you
know, you'd be like, "What's his fucking story?"
Yeah. Well,
Rubes goes to a. Go on.
You go.
Rubes asked me once, she had to do like schoolwork about significant people. So they're doing like Edith Cowan and people like that. Me and Rubes driving past Joondalup Gate. She goes, "Is Dan Murphy a significant person?" She wanted to do her work on.
Probably
to some people, sweet.
Just Dan Murphy's and John Hughes don't mix.
Depends who you ask. You ask Wolfie.
Yeah. I think Harvey Norman from memory. I think it's two people. Somebody Harvey and somebody Norman.
Oh, is it?
I have a feeling.
Oh, that's shit. I like the idea of a geezer called Harvey Norman.
But
It sounds reliable.
Rick Hart used to have very similar to Harvey Norman. And does he even have stores anymore?
Yeah.
He's
Hart, seconds. We're smart. Shoppers. Always come first.
So that's a person because he's on the Fremantle.
I've got a new bit.
Yeah. So that's a person that would be like John Hughes for me.
Yeah.
Or Crazy John, but he's gone.
Crazy John.
Yeah.
Crazy John. Whatever happened to Dick Smith?
He's around.
Is he still making dicks?
Just Smiths. He's turned into chips.
That
would be the worst tasting Smith's chips.
What?
Dick Smiths.
Dick Smiths. Have one of these.
Eat a bag of dicks.
I have no idea. I don't think it's a thing anymore.
Yeah, you don't see them anymore. They used to be everywhere. That was the main electronic.
Yeah, he shut down and he moved into, I think, philanthropy.
Right.
So yeah, not sure. That could be a good little.
You don't hear of him doing.
Get him on as a guest.
Many philanthrops.
Did you guys end up getting James McCann on?
We did.
Yeah.
Did you record the audio?
Cop a load of this. We had technical troubles with the video.
Oh, you're kidding.
You lost your audio.
Yeah.
We lost some video.
What the fuck is
Let's put them together.
That's what I said. So we'll just put our audio over your video.
He must be fuming because he's just trying to get people under the
James McCann.
James
McCann Catamaran Plan.
Yeah.
James Donald Force
McCann Catamaran Plan.
Yeah. Catamaran Plan.
Fuck, man, and I love him.
He's so good at it.
It was a great episode.
I don't know that our episode has yet to come out, but I've heard it back. And I fanboyed too much.
Yeah.
You know, when you can hear, like, if you get somebody on that you're a real fan of.
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, James
I don't like me like that.
Yeah.
Being like, and what do you think about how brilliant you are? I think you're great. I really do.
I did that with Devil's Advocate, but he fanboyed our pod.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He did really well. But except
he
he's
didn't like
crazy.
except when he said it. He said,
go,
you guys are a great pod. You do everything.
I love what you're doing.
Love what you're doing.
You're the
over
only
here.
ones that are unfiltered.
Yeah. And I'm going to say the exact same thing on Kings and Vagabonds tomorrow.
Yeah. He said he had to stop halfway through ours because Conway had taken him to a pizza place and it had ruined his tongue, so he had to stop for a shit halfway through.
Holy yeah, geez.
Well, there was some good stuff
James
on there.
Donald Force McCann, deep pan.
Yeah, deep pan catamaran plan.
We're definitely getting back on because he was just fun. He was fun.
He's a very, very funny guy.
I didn't realise how...
Catholic?
No, how brutal he was.
That was the stuff I wanted to know. I was really
He's quite
interested
Catholic
in a lot of the Catholic because I couldn't imagine why he would be
later in life.
Well, it's very disciplined, a Catholic thing.
Yeah,
like it's you have to do
Suck
this stuff.
my
Yeah,
dick.
it's you have to.
sorry.
You know,
I'm actually baptized a Catholic, but they'll forgive me.
they're going for the low hanging dicks.
Fuck.
Are you? You Catholic?
I'm baptized a Catholic,
Right,
but I'm
lapsed.
not
You're a
practicing.
lapsed Catholic.
What was that for? Is that so you could go to
I had no
schools?
choice. I was about 8 months old, and
Yeah.
they fucking dipped me
They
underwater.
do fling you straight into it.
I had no
don't they?
consent.
A lot of
Yeah.
people just do it just so they can send their kids to certain schools, hey?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I think
think
that's why
My mum did it
Soul
because
was
of
that
my
way.
nonna, like my mum and dad, just to appease the nonni.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Fair enough.
but
Yeah.
at least I'm fucking good to go in case there is a rapture.
Yeah, you've
Is that
got that
what
locked
happens?
in. You're insured.
Or do I have to be
It's
saved
rapture
again?
insurance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Surely, if
People need that at the nightclub
Rapture
in
insurance.
Northbridge.
do you think though? Surely, if let's say that path, you go down that path of it's a reality,
The righteous
thing,
path.
the righteous path. Surely, if there's a real God, that they'd see true of heart and true of character. They wouldn't be judging you based on
Unless
the fact
God
of
is a
whether.
hell sassy little bitch, like, I told you.
Yeah.
I fucking sent Jesus down. I let the church know for 2,000 years.
Gave you all the fucking
and
rules.
You didn't listen, so fuck you. Off you go, Lucifer. Take him.
I love that. It's such a gay God.
Could you?
I told you.
Because I'd sit there and I would do something sometimes for the sake of the fact that I knew it was the right thing to do, and then I'd sit there and think.
What do you mean at church?
No, just in general.
Oh,
like
in
I'd
your-
do
in
something.
your
I
life.
go, no, this is the right thing to do. I don't necessarily want to do it, but I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Well,
and
the
then I
idea
thought,
of-
well,
That's
I'm
a
not
s-
doing it because I want to do it, which would be the right. Is that the righteous? Is that the right word? Way to do it. I'm doing it specifically because I've got this sort of thing in the back of my head. I have to do the right thing.
But what is the right thing?
Well,
Do it all right.
You'd think that it's like a karmic thing, surely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All the rules and stuff like that, even the bonkers ones, would have been set out for some reason. I reckon if you go back far enough, you'll find out that, that's for these kinds of things. Like a lot of like chastity and sex before marriage and stuff like that. I suppose when you look back at it, especially if you read
Probably
stuff in like, I don't know, the book of Proverbs or something like that, there's a hell of a lot of stuff about the unrighteous woman and basically being pulled off the path of righteousness by fucking about with, dodgy
ironically,
women.
that's how they stopped having
Dodgy
sex.
women and ruining your fucking life over,
Yeah.
like married women who are happy to invite fellas into
Yeah.
their homes while they're away and stuff like that. I think originally that stuff comes from like karmic stuff that's like, these are rules to stop you from fucking your life up.
Yeah.
But they don't all translate to modern lives.
Or from control as well, a control
Yeah, well, I
aspect.
mean, a lot of it
Chastity would make sense to stop STIs that were killing people or causing infertility.
yeah.
Like back in those days, chlamydia or gonorrhea can cause you to become infertile. So if they created a rule where it was unjust to have sex before
Yeah.
marriage, then you would stop that for your for your community.
Yeah.
But
But as well, like, you can't go fucking a community up by banging somebody's wife while he's away.
well, God did it to
Doing
Joseph, so
God can.
yeah.
I can do what I want.
That's right. Fuck your kids, fuck your wife, fucking everybody out.
But again,
I'm fucking everybody at it.
all of those ways of keeping myself accountable, I've always got this this underlying sense of I'm doing it because someone's watching me and judging my.
That's
I
your
always
conscience.
feel
Yes.
like
So this is where
somebody's watching
But this is
me.
where I've come to that conclusion. It's myself. It's myself watching. Like I'm judging myself for
Yeah.
my actions. It's not.
Well,
like,
there's plenty of spiritual paths that would tell you that is the same thing as what God is. If you look like into non-dualism, and a lot of that breaches over into Christianity and it comes from like Hindu concepts and things like that, they'd say that the witness of your thoughts is the God that everybody speaks to.
Yeah.
The God,
the universal consciousness.
Yeah. It's the thing that receives the thought. So you have a thought. Let's say you have some shitty thought, a mean, jealous, awful thought about somebody. Mm-hmm. The thing that goes, ooh, fucking hell. Like the receiver of the thought. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't think your thoughts, do you? They pop up.
They trip me out.
Like hiccups.
Yeah.
They just fucking turn up.
Thoughts really.
But who's the one that's fucking listening to them? Do you know what I mean? That's what all those non-dual teachers, Ramana Maharshi and all those people are saying. Who is that thought to? And
that's what of all people, that's what Andrew Tate talks about. Like the idea of whether or not a God exists doesn't matter, because if you have that thought that there is a God and it creates this sort of virtuous way of living, it's in itself it's created a God that you're living by this idea.
So, I don't like to like really preach anything spiritual because it tends to get up people's noses, and I certainly don't like it when people do it to me. Yeah. But I did have the thought recently that regardless of whether a person believes in a God, like a literal one, it's worth having at least an idea of one in your head and acting as if, isn't it? Like act like what you do matters. Do you know what I mean? Just for your own sake, just so you can live a better life. Like if you spend all your life bitter and, you know, cunty and stuff, like that seeps out into the rest of your life. Whereas if you were to treat things that came to you as if this is your lot given to you by some higher power and you should be grateful regardless, you're just going to be a better person like that, aren't you? Surely you just be nicer to yourself, nicer to other people. Whereas if you're like a rotten little bitter jealous prick, it's not going to do any good for anybody. Yeah. So I've always thought yourself. With like, it's not that you're fearing some punishment by some mythical creature god, but it's good to have like an idea of one. I think everybody does anyway. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just usually created by their community around them. Yeah. Like
some religions have a more vengeful god than others.
Yeah. But it's all cult behavior. Don't dog the boys is cult behavior. It's like men have a code between themselves, and there's things Rose that you don't fucking cross and things like that. Yeah. And they're like rules. Yeah. They do count, and that's not that different.
Yeah. Speaking of cults, there was did you say the starving cult in Africa? It's not just World Vision, it's an actual starving cult.
A starving cult?
89 of them are dead now. The guy's been arrested. Yeah,
what do you mean? They're starving themselves on purpose?
Yeah, the leader convinced them that if they starved themselves, they'd meet Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck. Well, I just watched that Waco on the worst idea.
I've heard about this Waco.
Fucking worst idea. Sitting there in the car with fucking Delby, Squirrely and Mac Shane driving back, and it's a 3-part docu-series. It's fucking really well made. But I had this thing
you listened to it in the car?
Watched it on Netflix, downloaded the episode.
We chatted in the car.
So,
me and Squirrely did for 13 hours.
Dude,
him and Mac
Squirrely, you could fucking chat to that guy for a decade.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd ever
He's got great insights, eh?
He's got amazing insights. Yeah. He's
shat all over manifestation. If you want to hear that, that's in I think part 3 of the Patreon pod.
Is he? Yeah. I'd like to listen to anything that Squirrely has to say about anything. I'm a fan of his fucking personality. I love the guy.
Yeah, it was that was a great episode.
I've even been listening to a fishing pod. I don't give a fuck about fishing, just so I can get more Squirrely in my life.
Yeah.
Squirrely Burley, they call
it.
He was, so we did have a good old yarn on the way back, but there was like about an hour where I was just out of it. So I just chuck this on, and I was like, I'll watch it. This will get me perked up. This will, there's going to be a nice ending to this. They're going to at least save the kids. Yes, yeah. And like I'll finish it. I'll finish it, and I take it off, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. This is the worst thing I could ever have watched while I'm away from my daughter right now. Yeah. Like this is, and it's, mate. Do you know the general premise of it?
I was just given a bit of a rundown yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 51-day standoff. So
they started arming themselves, didn't they? 51-day standoff.
51 days. So they took him. They went there and to basically detect, because they knew that they were storing arms and stuff like that. They weren't doing anything with it. They were it was there in preparation for the day that this would come. Yeah. And so it was a very odd thing. They didn't have to storm that. They could have just arrested him any other day. Like they could have just arrested him. They didn't have to do it the way they did it. Yeah. But
it's America.
But yeah,
fuck yeah.
So it was this combination of two ultra fuck ups and just like a calamity of death. That's all it was.
I think cults are a fucking. It's a thing though, isn't it? It's like a human nature thing.
Yeah.
People want to join cults.
It's that sense of belonging.
Some people
want
to start cults. Yeah. And if you look at like just life in general, there's so many things that I know. Open mic rooms that are a cult.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Footy clubs.
Footy clubs that are a cult. It's like all
fishing, spearfishing.
Yeah.
Yoga. It's all just mini cults.
Well, this guy had
yoga, your cult. That's one.
So this guy just went
That's
to.
your cult.
He went to an already. And they were already basically a cult to a certain point. I can't remember what the name of that was, but it was just a Christian cult. But then the leader died, and he had seduced her. She was like 80 or something. So he seduced this older woman and basically took over as the leader.
Seduced.
Do you think that you guys could do that? Could you seduce?
Could I seduce an 80-year-old woman?
Could you
They've
emotionally
seen all
or
the
mentally,
tricks,
physically? Could you? Would you be able to
go through with
seducing,
having sex with a 80-year-old woman?
What's your common ground? I mean, you could talk about John Hughes, the good old days, but what is your common ground? And then when it comes, when it comes to kissing the 80-year-old like passionately, can you do it?
I don't know. Can they do it? An
the
80-year-old, can they move passionately? Can an 80-year-old person move passionately?
I guess it depends on if they're a carnivore diet or not.
I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine by the time I'm 80 being at all passionate. I think I'll be fairly sedentary.
I think I'll be gone by the time I'm 80.
I'd like to be around, but I'm sure I'll just be draped over some kind of furniture.
I think what we're seeing though is
so you couldn't do it, or you could do it.
What now?
Right now, at this age.
For who? For what purpose?
To become godlike to a group of people. You're about to ascend. You could do it
if I needed to. Yeah.
Could you do it?
It's just acting.
An 80-year-old.
Yes.
It's just acting.
Yeah, but you got to get your dick to act hard.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't do that the best of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
could you fuck a bag of bones?
Yeah, maybe I couldn't. I don't know. You'd have to be in that.
You could
situation.
fuck a leather couch.
If I was mental enough to want to be the leader of a cult,
you probably could.
I'd probably be mental enough to convince myself to bang an 80-year-old.
All right, clip that, send it to the bike lady. Yeah, I don't reckon I could. I just don't think I could. I can barely, like you said, like at the best of times with like a chick my age. Being able to like perform successfully.
Yeah. I was going to say tolerate.
I would out-seduce.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I reckon you could, Branch. If anyone could, I think that you would be the...
Because I'm such a ladies' man.
I could see you.
No, you got the piece.
I could see you doing it. I could see you leading a cult.
Yeah.
I could definitely.
I could see you easily. I could see you delivering a sermon. In fact, you should get ChatGPT to write a sermon as you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bit of a...
Deliver the sermon after you deliver the cervix.
I would bet money that it sounded legit. Because I can imagine you running a cult.
I started getting using
he speaks
ChatGPT.
well and elocutes well.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And he thinks about this stuff and he's...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to start a cult. It's called the Hard Yarns Podcast. And I'm going to get a whole lot of people to listen.
This could be a cult. This could blossom into a cult.
I hope so. And for $5 a month on Patreon, you can
meet Jesus.
I was thinking about this because when you find something that works for you, and this is, I think, how cults work. Yeah. This is me giving the benefit of the doubt to people who create cults.
Yeah.
They're not... narcissistic fucking assholes.
We're social animals, so you find something that works for you, and then you want to be able to share it with people.
Yes.
And then when you find people that are like-minded, it acts as confirmation that you're not fucking mental.
Have you heard about Herbalife?
I found that's where the fucking danger is, which is why I stay what I call spiritually ambiguous.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't really tell people that's straight up what I believe or anything like that, because I tend to change what I believe depending if I go, oh yeah, that turned out to not be correct. Which I think is a mark of not being a knobhead.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If
you pin it down too much.
The ability
That's
to
a
change.
common theme in the last
things
3
change.
pods.
You can't as things are always changing,
like
aren't
gender.
they? So you go, all right, well that just isn't the case. I don't live in that world anymore. I best change my 2,000-year-old thinking into something a bit more.
Yeah.
And so
what were you saying? ChatGPT you started using?
Fuck, I can't remember, but I was going with something.
You were saying you were opening up.
Because when you touched on it, you said it basically. When you fucking love something so much and you find it works for you, you start preaching it as like, well, fuck, it worked for me.
Yeah.
everyone should be doing this, and you think that that's what is going to serve everyone best.
Yeah.
And that happens in everything though. Like, and I think Wolfie said it when he was on, like, you know, that guy who stops drinking and becomes that annoying cunt at the fucking...
I was that guy. I've been that guy.
And he'd be like, oh, you got to stop drinking or you got to stop doing this.
4 months later, I'm in a gutter shit in my pants.
Yeah. But
it didn't work. Get back on the beers with me. Come on. We're going out.
It always comes back to the ultimate form of guru is the person who, I think, and Wolfie again said this, the one who doesn't consult, but just lives the life that they feel works. And then
people
when someone
will emulate
asks,
it.
When someone wants to know how you've done it, you give them the formula.
Yeah.
And then they can sort of, they can take from that what they want. But
So
if you're constantly preaching, you're going to push back, and you could be fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that's how cults
preaching is
form.
good for the person who needs to be preached to. For example, if I'm guilty of anything, it's probably I lean into the David Goggins, Jocko Willink cult stuff because I need tough love type motivation sometimes. I was listening to Jocko Willink on the way here. Like I said, I felt really groggy this morning.
He's great.
I was like, I need a dad to tell me I'm being a pussy ass bitch.
Yeah. Is his real name Jocko?
I don't know.
Or is he because he's a
awful name, Jocko Willink. It's clunky in your mouth.
Like knob jockey, like Willy jockey.
Jocko Willink.
Well, I've emailed him
Jockey.
to come on in July when he's here, so I'll clip that up and show it to him.
Clip that up. It's a dreadful
but
name. Tell him with more discipline. Have a different name.
I think that Goggins is a fucking spaz, man.
You think he's a spaz?
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to what he does. He just goes, fucking gotta be hard. It's like,
but to a point,
do you?
Yeah, but I think he does.
Yes,
because I think
which is what you were getting at.
Yeah, so I'm like a perfect recipient for that cult because I'm recipient. That's not the right word, is it?
Yeah,
perfect candidate for that cult because I said cunt instead of cult. I did that on radio once. I did that on 96 FM.
Oh
once.
shit! Did they dump it or?
No, they didn't dump it. I don't think anybody
nice.
noticed.
Nice, just the accent.
Because the accent covered it up.
Yeah.
So
Dumb cunts.
Dumb cult.
Dumb cults.
Yeah, cult. What was I going to say? Because I'm like a softie. Like I've been one of them people that would like give myself the easy way out quite often in life. Like I'll just go, I don't have time to do that, or yeah, that's enough. You only need to do this much of that. Do you know? Like I know the ways in which I'll sneak my way out of doing the hard thing.
Yeah, but my logic brain goes, you're an idiot. Like
who?
What? Not you.
Oh,
Goggins. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, he's like, I go for a run, and because I hate it, I tie my hands behind my back and my feet, and I swim. It's like, why? Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Or like, I don't rest. I just push through and run, like destroying your body. None of that seems logical to me. Like, it's great that you're doing it, man, but this is the worst advice you can give anyone ever. You know, like, oh, you've dislocated your shoulder.
Okay, so
do more chin-ups.
So the devil's advocate to that would be the people that are more balanced, that have got advice more like what you might be into, that are like, well, don't fucking overexert yourself. Like, work hard, but like when you need to rest, take a rest.
Yeah.
The people that are like me and probably like Goggins, because me and Goggins are alike.
Very similar body shapes.
Very similar people.
Yeah.
Same sort of genetic,
Fortitude.
Yeah. Would be, they said I can rest. I'm just going to rest.
Yes.
I'm going to do heaps of rest. And like, we're not hard enough on ourselves. Yeah. So he's taught himself to like completely shut that shit out. Whereas I need to be reminded to do that. That's why I like the boxing gym, man, because if you slack off, people shout.
Yeah.
They're like, come on, fucking, and you have to keep.
I could see it happen to people when I was talking to them. This is again why I don't preach anymore, like chase your dreams, quit your job, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I used to say
people quit their jobs and they're
so
4 of them are dead.
Which by a stunning coincidence today,
2 of them are working
4
for
years. 4 years today. 4 years ago today, I left sheet metal.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
By a stunning coincidence. But what was I saying? So pushing people to to be telling them like, it's something you can do. You can build this business on the side, and you'll be far happier. And maybe you should do it.
Yeah.
And then I'd always go, right, you sound preachy. you sound like a fucking idiot right now. And then I'd chuck in that doesn't mean you have to do that to be happy. And then you'd see them go, yeah, no worries. And you could see them go, that means I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And then that would be that little bit of where I don't need them to do it.
Well, there's also the distrust of what makes you think your happiness is the same as my happiness?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What makes you think that I hate my job?
Yeah, we had this chat on the way up, and I played devil's advocate, so maybe it'd be good to get the ponderings of Pinder, Jon Pinder.
Because I'd started to push now against my original thoughts of like, chase your dreams, do that, because you can
now you're
be
like, go to work at the supermarket, do your job, stop being a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, now I'm at the point where I've realised I could have just been happy working sheet metal.
Yeah, but sometimes I think we're looking for confirmation that that's the right thing to be doing, so that other people go, yeah, I will do that. And then they do it, and they have the same result, and then that confirms to you that you're on the right track.
Correct.
Thus begins the whirlwind that becomes Branchy's cult.
Yeah.
So
which is essentially Tony Robbins' cult.
Yeah. Well, Delby's argument was that
different levels. Happiness is subjective, and like I was trying to say, like I was doing it in the context of love, but they changed it to happiness, which is like all good.
Yeah.
Like the way I love, let's say I love you, right? And you say you love me.
Hurt.
Let's say you love me, I love you.
All right.
Can you measure
who goes first?
Who loves each other more? Is my love better than your love? Is the way I love true love? Or is it just what I consider love? And how I see love is different to how you see love, which is where love languages come into play as well, like active confirmation.
Totally,
So with happiness, the debate went to, is happiness just happiness, or can you be more happy or less happy?
Yeah.
Depending on your context.
So the context of this conversation started out by me saying that peace was what you want, not happiness. And then that happiness and sadness sort of flows. And what did I say? I said that for me to reach the highest heights of happiness, I need to have the context of the lowest lows.
Yes,
and Delby said, well, why do you need the context of the lowest lows?
Yeah.
Why can't your happiness just be fucking up there?
Yeah.
And
your happiness, you don't have to be like super low, because to you, that level of happiness is now as greatly happy as you feel. Whereas Branchy was saying that if you, let's say, fucking somebody that you love has passed away, right? And then you have a newborn child or something. And because you've experienced that complete opposite, your happiness is now greater than me having a newborn child without experiencing that loss.
The shift.
I still have that happiness. Is it the same level, or is it?
It would probably feel different. It's that same thing, isn't it? About like people that I remember a man in a bookshop once telling me that I had to be more grateful for water. He'd had a stroke, right? He was in Dimmocks in the queue, and his daughter was paying for something at the counter, and she put his wheelchair facing like the rest of the queue. So I'm just sort of
very
awkward.
Odd.
It was weird. I'm just awkwardly stood in front of this man who was looking up at me, and
like
he had these like sparkly eyes and shit. And I was like, "All right, mate." And he goes, "Never give up." And I went, "I won't."
Yeah, I'm 2 from the front.
And he goes, yeah. It's like, I'm nearly there, bro. I'm not going to give up. I really want this book. Yeah. and I went, okay. And I could see that it was going to be one of those. This is a man who has been thinking about his life a lot and has changed his attitude to a lot of stuff. And he started telling me that he'd had this stroke. And he goes, and another thing, after the sort of small talk had quieted down, he goes, another thing, this stuff, don't take it for granted. He had a bottle of water.
It's probably vodka.
And he goes, this is the best. Because this is the best shit in the world. Because when he couldn't drink when he had this stroke, and he was so fucking thirsty.
Yeah,
and so only when he could drink water again was he like, oh, dude, how good is water?
Yeah.
Water is fucking excellent.
It is good.
You know?
And so that's where that argument of my thoughts were, the subjective feelings or emotions. It is. You need the context of
You'd have to have one to understand the height. Well, I mean, you wouldn't know the height of that happiness.
Yeah.
And of course, it can only be from, to answer your question, I think it can only be from the person's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, because what one person might call love, another person might just call service.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So for me, like I'd always, what's the word? Associated love with sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, would you sacrifice for that person? Would you sacrifice something that you really wanted for yourself for that person to be happy? Because if you can't do that, that's not real love. But that's not true.
Yeah, that's your
just
version
something
of
in
love.
my head.
I hate that though.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that when somebody doesn't agree with that? Like, let's say, man, I did this. Like, I fucking drove to Mandurah. I picked this thing up for you. and then when I ask you to get me some cold and flu tablets, you don't do it.
Yeah, that's transaction. That's a service thing, isn't it?
But you're like, I fucking did this.
Yeah.
To show, and they're like, that doesn't mean that's love for them. Yeah. Love for them might be, well, you spent a really quality half an hour with me. I didn't ask you to go do that thing.
Yeah, the difference is there. Well, there's a conflict in there as well, because one implies that I drove to Mandurah and did that shit so that when I needed some cold and flu, like that was an investment.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's
you only did it.
I don't think you only do that because of that. It's like I'm showing you how much I care about you. I've gone and done this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it to have one in the bank on you.
Yeah.
It's just like, but
to
if
say
they
you shouldn't
to
have
say that in a moment of conflict,
it
wouldn't be surprising for a person to go, well,
yeah,
sorry, I hadn't realised that you were doing that, expecting a thing back.
But or for them to not recognise that as a really show of love and sacrifice.
It has to be recognised
by them
initially.
Just like
I think
somebody could be like, well, I made you this handmade gift, and you're like, that's shit.
Yeah, but for me, like going and driving,
give me a proper handmade gift.
Something from Mandurah, that's not love at all. That's not even service.
No,
that's just
I don't want anything from Mandurah.
That's just something you should go do. Whereas,
but to not be recognised that it's taken 2.5 hours out of your day,
that's poor by the other person.
Put them before yourself.
So that's an act. So that would you say that is then in your love language?
I'm a mix of all. I've realised I'm a mix of all.
I think everybody
is service,
isn't there?
My main ones are. My main ones.
I see you as a words of affirmation guy.
Definitely words of affirmation. You need to tell me. Act of service, 100%. Definitely touch. The one that I'm not big on is gifts. I'm not good at receiving gifts.
I'm not good at receiving gifts.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that they've thought about me, but it's not high on my thing.
I get the immediate transactional feeling of
I can buy myself flowers.
Yeah. No, I get that. If I get a gift and I haven't also gotten the person a gift, even if it's my birthday, I feel guilty taking a gift.
I love buying gifts for people that are really meaningful because it shows that you are thinking about them. So I'm not good at receiving, but I love buying that. So and I don't expect anything in return. It's just like, I was thinking of you. I saw this here.
Yeah, like, and really I don't really like birthdays because of that obligation feeling. Like if I think of something, it's always books for me. I'll think of a book and I go, I'm sure this person would love that fucking book, so I'll just get them a book.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What's the fifth one? It's love, touch, words of affirmation, quality time.
Yeah, quality time.
Act of service.
Acts of service.
See, the gifts,
I'm big on quality time.
Does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
But for the women, they really love it.
The thought of someone. So having had that experience over Christmas 2 years ago, I got nothing from anyone except my mother-in-law, and she gave me a T-shirt that I didn't honestly really like, but I loved getting that. I was like, oh, she's actually...
And now you and her are together.
Yeah. So she gave me... Exactly. Yeah. So I understand. Gifts mean fucking nothing to me. You could get me something really good, and eventually I just go, I don't care. But
I won't then.
It's you don't. But the thought.
The thought's great.
I hadn't realised until that moment. I was like, she still went out of her way to do that for me. Really, it was nice.
Yeah. That said, fucking Taryn got me the sickest gift for my birthday. She got little confessional shot glasses with mine and Cam.
Oh, wicked.
And we forgive you on them.
Oh, that's killer.
Yeah, fucking so dope. Yeah. So shout out. That was awesome. That shit, I love that shit, man.
Yeah. But it's still like if they had given me nothing, I still would love them the same.
Yeah. What's your thing?
I would love them less.
What do you need out of a person?
I don't know.
Are you in a relationship at the moment?
No.
Why?
No real...
Why? Sound like my nonna. Why you not find love? Why? Come on, the Camerone. I
don't know.
Povela girl.
I'm not overly interested.
You're not
I'm really... Not that I'm not in a point where I'd turn one away.
Yeah.
But
that's the best place to be.
Just like whatever happens, happens.
The women are the devil.
I don't know what. I feel very good at the moment.
Content.
Just very content, wholesome. I just feel good. And if anything at the moment, adding something to that would feel like it would disrupt.
I think that's what it is then. It's like even if you've not got all the things that Maslow fucking says that you need in your, pyramid or hierarchy of needs. If you've got plenty of most of the others, you can get rid of one or two of the... Because you know what I mean?
I'd be I'd get on Tinder or something or whatever, and I'd get a good match and we'd be getting along, and then I'd just go, I just can't
bored.
I just can't be bothered catching up. You're a beautiful girl. Like, you seem to have all the traits that I like.
No,
but
find out it was just ChatGPT the whole time.
Yeah, I was in that space before
so I'm just feeling good at the moment. I don't know. This is
stay in a relationship with the podcast, baby.
It is.
That's what it is.
I'm putting a lot of my, I guess, attention and love into it at the moment. And I've felt so frustrated the last 3 weeks with not being able to give it all the attention that I wanted, because one, we went to Exmouth, that's taking away from it a bit, but we got to achieve a bit up there for it as well, so that helped.
It was for that, wasn't it?
It was for the pod, yeah.
But like with my mum stuff, and that went fine, and then people would notice we didn't do a podcast for 2 weeks. I had a lot of shit going on, and it was
still with your mum.
Yeah, it went bad again.
Have you talked about on the pod?
Yeah, but I talked to a point where she was okay again, but then it went bad.
Oh, and she's
again.
poorly again.
I would. She's not great. She's not. She's not great. She's not good. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's just
like it's not a stable kind of where you can go, right, that's done, predictable now.
Yeah. Yes.
I can work on that. That's a shit feeling as well.
Which made
limbo.
Me really
there's no stable ground, and it's like changing on you and you can't plan anything.
And it made me realize how much I love this. Because I couldn't give this attention.
Say how much you love your mum.
No, I knew that. I knew that. But
this podcast never gets sick.
I tell you what, though, you do realise the context of the potential that you could lose your mum. Fuck, you take her for granted. And this is that context of like the guy who didn't have the water.
Yeah.
He didn't realise how much he fucking needs. But it does become.
That's why there's some of that stuff that's really preachy and becomes a cliche, but that's no reason to swat it away. In the same reason that I say I don't swat away anything that's like a religious thing just on the premise that it's a religious thing, therefore it must be a load of bollocks.
Yeah, there's a lot of good in religion.
Things that like that whole gratitude fucking revolution that came about, and everybody was having the gratitude diaries and stuff, and it became super cringe and horrible.
Yes,
but
doesn't mean
in a culture where we don't fucking appreciate so much shit.
Yeah.
Like it takes having to lose some shit or at the risk of losing some shit where you go, holy fuck. Even just the simple parts of my life that I forget are even a thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm so comfy in them.
Something as simple as being pain-free from your back. Even me, I'm bad for it, man. Like when my back's good, I forget about it. Then when it's bad, I'm like, fuck.
Delby's got noises.
What do you mean he's got noises?
He's got back
noises. Yeah. What, that you do when you're... Oh, is it like
every morning when he walks up the stairs to come into the pod, or when we slept up in Exmouth?
I didn't realise
it's the main bit of you. It's the main bit of you.
Yeah, it's fuck. Oh, I've been saying
you'd be all floppy if you didn't have a back.
But you're right. And unless you've got that severe pain, and you don't realise, fuck, it feels good to just feel normal.
Yeah.
Same when you got a cold, just a fucking head cold. You're like, fuck this shit.
I cancelled a day of work last week because I had a runny nose.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm 36. Like, I've got nothing to prove to you, like, by being tough and working. But it's like, it fucking infuriates me.
Where was that?
It makes me a bad person.
Was that a gig? No. Was it a gig or was it like a different? Tattoo.
Oh no, I did the gig. Yeah. I did the gig, but I can't do the tattoos. I'm not taking me fucking gloves off every 2 minutes to blow my nose. And I've done tattoos where I've wadded paper towel in my nose and just breathed through my mouth.
Yeah. And so are you still looking at moving away from that, or are you staying into it?
Nah, post-COVID, man, I found that I actually like having a couple of things on the go. I was just talking to Grant Mushet about it, like having a reason to disconnect from that kind of work, do this, because you come to this one then recharged. And it's like it's like if you do, I don't know if you've ever tried writing songs or anything like that, or even writing a bit or trying to get a shot right or painting something. If you have got the same eyes on it all the time, you start to lose what's good and what's bad, and you're like, do I even fucking like this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you start working formulaically. You're like, oh, well, that's the kind of joke that I would do there, so I'll do that joke there, and I'll tag this into it. And it gets exhausting. Whereas if I've got a few different things that I can work on, see, my new thing is trying to be better with money. That's the thing I've always hidden from. I've always been really bad at it, and then
Mush is great for that.
Used. Well, it was him that got me onto the Dave Ramsey stuff. Him and Cam McLaren was like, get onto this Dave Ramsey guy because he won't. Yeah. He doesn't overcomplicate it, and he talks about how the behavior is the most important part of it. And it's like, I can't hide from this shit anymore, but I'm getting a kick out of it the same way I do tattooing or comedy. Yeah. Because it's those little, same as boxing, it's like a little win. You've got a goal that's there, and I only have to get to there, and you get to there and you set it further. You've got to have the carrot to dangle.
Now, are you boxing for a reason, or are you just doing it for fitness? Because I have an idea.
Pretty much just for fit. Why? Do you want to do a hard yarns boxing match?
Oh, that would be great.
Is that what you think
But
of?
no. I was thinking like maybe me and you could approach Perth Corporate Rumble, and you, Branch.
What's Perth Corporate Rumble?
So it's a massive fundraiser event, and just literally people that are working in corporate, they train them for 12 weeks, and then they fight each other all on a big ball.
A couple of mates. One of my
that.
mates has done it twice.
I would fucking shit myself. Like the ego of getting knocked out in front of everyone would suck.
Like if you're fighting me.
No, but you do weight class. Right? It wouldn't be me and you.
Oh, that's a shame.
We'd be training to verse others. To verse others.
It'd be like your shirt off, me with my shirt. Imagine those fucking ring entrances.
Yeah. I'd do that. That'd be beautiful.
It would be pretty cool. I'd like to do that only because of that David Goggins thing that I just shat on before. It would be so far out of my comfort zone and the fear of getting knocked out.
One of the coaches at our gym has said that I should try and do one of those masters events
Jared.
for like over 30.
Is it Jared?
Nah, it's Ray. From Stay in the Fight.
But so you shared old mate. Is it Jared? I think Jared.
I think there's a Jared.
Largett or he's a listener.
Margaret.
Fuck, I feel Jagger maybe.
Jagger Altoft.
He's going out with a friend of mine, Courtney. Who's
it's Jagger. That's Jagger Altoft. He's at Lacey's now. Yeah.
Lacey's, So
I love that guy. You should get him on here.
Yeah, I apologise, mate, because he messaged me the other day to catch up for a coffee, and I didn't know his name properly.
Yeah, Jagger.
I always just go off the name of the Insta handle.
Yeah, I want to get him on Kings and Vagabonds, man.
His girlfriend is supposed to come on as the marine biologist.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, you should. Right.
What is it? Is he a trainer or what?
You get her on, I'll get him on. And then we'll put the pods together and we'll get them both on. And have a Power Couples edition.
Yeah.
Is he a trainer? Boxing trainer?
Yeah, he's a boxing trainer. He's a PT.
Right.
But he writes a blog and shit like that. Just when I first met him, you know when you meet someone, you go, this fucker's got something about him. They've got charisma. They've got an idea of... Do you know what I mean? You got something, kid. I got something. I'm going to make you a star. Yeah. I reckon he's got a book in him. He's like a funny dude. He's into his psychedelics and stuff.
I like he's stepped out of his comfort zone and started putting some stuff up.
He started doing the content thing. I'm right behind him. Big Jagger fan.
Yeah. Well,
more so
maybe
than
we
Mick
should
Jagger.
reach out and see. This is one of the things that we say. I'd like to do it. That's one thing I'm probably scared of is
he'd be the person that...
Because my back, not my back, my fucking... When I tried to kick, when I used to do BJJ and MMA, my hips were just completely fucked. So it would be painful. But I think boxing would be all right.
Yeah.
Just holding your hands up like this.
Do you have like a mobility coach and stuff like that as well?
No.
Apparently there's a big part of like that stuff is like a mobility thing.
Well, I'd suggest you just go to Corey and actually do what he says. For an extended period of time. Yeah. You have to push through it's one of those things. Like, for example, I think it was your back you went to see him for, and it got sorer. It's it's always going to get worse before it gets
sore to start with.
So it's like if you're not using the muscles around that, you need to strengthen certain areas.
Well, I used to moan about my hands from tattooing. I at the time when I was like really down on tattooing, I was like, I've got to get out of this. I want to do comedy full time. Wow, we've totally drifted off to that point.
Yeah.
Anyway, to wrap that up, I like having a few things on the go, and I like compartmentalizing and committing to that, and then committing to that, and I still do each wholeheartedly. Whereas my mistake in me thinking before was, if my heart's in the comedy, then it can't be in the tattooing. That's just not true.
And does that work? Oh, sorry, you go.
That I'm glad we're having this chat, because for the last 6 to 8 months, I've been listening too much to other people going, Delbs, you focus on one thing. You need to fuck this off and just do one thing. Or like, have a rest. I'm like, literally right now I'm having an epiphany. Yeah. Exactly like you. I need all those things. They all bring me joy. They give me purpose. Yeah. If I fuck them off, I'm going to be too focused on one thing. I don't want to be.
Think about why that's rewarding to you. Is because you're good at juggling stuff. Do you know what I mean? So you might be a good comedian, a good podcaster, a good this, a good that, and not necessarily have made it to the absolute peak of where you want your abilities to be at any one of those things just yet. And you might be able to do that if you focused on one thing. Yeah. But at what cost?
Yes.
If you like being... Because what it is essentially with you is your actions are those of an entrepreneur, aren't they?
Yeah.
You like move into this, you do that, you do this, you do that.
Yeah.
And that's where you thrive, and it makes you feel good. And because it makes you feel good, you have the drive to continue to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Whereas if you've got the monotony of trying to be great at one thing,
Yes.
those moments of frustration where the dopamine is no longer rewarding you because you're not getting wins.
Yeah.
You know, like they say, like baby animals, if you like, when they're having like rough and tumble kind of play and shit like that, they have to be allowed to win sometimes.
Yeah.
And this
You
has
know
come
what I mean?
back
Same
to
with your
The
kids.
variation's important. It's
You have
probably
to-
got
you
to
have
do
to
with
be
what
able
I've
to
been
get-
feeling down the last few days.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And this is
Maybe.
where that comes back to that idea of peace being what we're seeking, not happiness or whatever. Because
I think
with
the
happiness
the peace
implies
comes from feeling fulfilled,
Yes.
doesn't it? I would have used peace is a good word, but I like fulfilled
Fulfillment.
Yeah.
because it's
Balanced.
You find if you get too comfortable, you'll become miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you become too uncomfortable, you become miserable. You need to be in the sweet spot where
Yeah.
peace
And
exists for you.
and
I
being
think.
okay with either one.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
and that-
Because you're going to have your little wins and you're going to have your little losses,
Correct.
but it's not affecting your entire sense of self or
Well,
destroying your life.
And that's it. If your joy relies on being happy all the time, you're not going to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
So then when you're not in that period, that's going to really upset you even further.
Yeah.
So having that balance of like your peace, it might be like I've got 10 things on the go, but I like having
yeah,
to
so
get
when
from that one to that one.
thing's shitting you to death, you can switch to another and you feel...
Yeah. And mine I've realized is not necessarily having, trying to seek happiness. It's just having a nice balance of things, being able to spend time with
Yeah.
my daughter, but also being busy as well.
Yeah.
I do need to be slightly
Well,
busy
you
because
need something to push against, I think.
Yeah. I've been feeling unhappy, forcing myself to be chill. Like, I just do nothing, relax. I'm not happy when I'm doing
If
that.
that doesn't work for you, then
Doesn't
don't do
work.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Everybody's got their own sweet spot. I mean, you've got dexamphetamine coursing through your veins.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, something that's been pushing me lately, and I've really enjoyed it because I was pushing against it last year, and I've started to lean in and dip through Delby and Xavier and a few people.
He has
Yeah,
lent
yeah.
in through me.
Started to do comedy again, and
Yeah.
I was saying that comedy wasn't what I ultimately wanted to do, so I should stop focusing on it.
Yeah, well, that's like saying boxing isn't what I ultimately want to do, so I should let myself get fat.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you like it, do it.
Yeah, so and I did like it, and because it's harder. It
Yeah.
is fucking hard. I
Yeah.
can't.
So, yeah.
I'm usually, without sounding too arrogant, I'm naturally good at a lot of things, so I can pick things up pretty well. Fuck, I have to work a lot harder at stand-up comedy. So there was this come up with this idea that. Nah, you don't really want to do it. You do, but you don't really. Well,
Yeah,
I fucking want to do it.
Yeah.
So I've started to, and like Delby and Squirrely helped me craft a joke on the way
We've
up.
got a
and-
banger closer.
And it fucking.
Oh, really?
And
I noticed the clip that you'd sent me. I was like, oh, this is a new branchy. This like...
Oh yeah, that's a
is good
different
now.
one. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. But no, I haven't sent you that one, but that one's good. And so like crafting jokes and stuff, and eventually seeing them work on stage.
Being
is fucking fun.
okay with not being the best at something is important to learn, like, and still getting a kick out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So like
sex.
I found, yeah. That's why we like it. We suck at it.
Yeah,
We're gonna get there one day.
One
Get a
day.
kick out of it.
Yeah. Little wins.
Yeah.
Little 60-second wins. You
But-
do what you can.
But I think that is that's for me at the moment. That's that challenge of something that I find hard.
Yeah.
And I need it because if I don't have that thing that I find hard, there's nothing. What am I?
It's just the yarns.
You
then.
Fucking, we got this. I was going to say the same thing.
I remember the brand
I
of
left
this
that
pod.
for
I
a
can do it.
bit.
Yeah.
The yarns has become we've simplified it so much now. Like I said, I'm editing it now,
Yeah.
flicking back and forth on the
It's
camera.
a lot of flicking.
It's
Get a flick out of it.
I don't even have to edit it anymore. It's just It's become very
You have
streamlined.
absolutely refined this. I'm going to steal some of these methods.
Yeah, and like there's certain parts of my life that are becoming easier. I got rid of like West Perth as a client, so
Yeah.
I'm more free for time now. I'm like, fuck, how do I push myself?
Yeah.
It was gym. That succeeded. I got to a level of I'm happy
That's
with
what
my
I mean. You've
health
got
and
to.
fitness.
You have to have something difficult to sort of work against. Otherwise, So for me, there was that I've always liked being good at something, and then been relieved that the thing that I'm interested in, I already started okay at it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't start out terrible at it and have to work myself. Whereas this sort of recent epiphany that I've had around money is that so I've always shied away from it and made the excuse, I mean, I'm from, my dad was always hopeless with money. Now I've got like his curse, the Pinder curse, and it's just excuse making. And it's taken me ages and an ATO debt, like pushing me against the wall, where I've been like, I really have to do this go back to preschool and learn this the dumb way. Yeah. And I'm having to do that now. And once I admitted that to myself and started to do it and like taking these baby steps and stuff that is embarrassing, like, oh, do I need those new shoes? I don't need the shoes. I'm going to not get the shoes. And that feels bad. Yeah. And I just keep, you looked at me shoes there. Like, get some new shoes.
That's sick.
No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the feeling of being a dumb person.
It sucks. No one likes to feel dumb. And that was when I used to be a teacher. I used to start my every class at the start of the year going, who here likes to feel dumb? Literally put your hand up if you and it was always my classes that were the special needs that I would start. None of them like it. Yeah. So I was like, it sucks. I hate feeling dumb. Yeah. And then we would go, I would give examples of when I felt dumb.
Anyway, that's enough for today. See you later, kids.
But because you're uncomfortable and you feel dumb, which means you feel vulnerable, and then your brain is like in that flight or flight mode.
Yeah.
So once you accept that, like you've just said, no one else is judging you. It's you that's judging yourself on that one. Because you're not talking to me about your finances, you know?
And the feelings of like powerlessness and what's the word? Incompetence.
And realizing how fucking dumb you were, or realizing that you had been fucking horrendous or shit with something. Yeah. Acknowledging like, oh, this is my fault. It's no one else's fault. And that is what's the stinger.
Yeah, but it feels
because you got no one to blame but yourself.
And that's gone. Then it feels so much better.
Yeah.
I had the same feeling when I went to Exmouth and we did like the whale shark thing, and I just like, oh, I'm terrible at swimming. Like fucking awful. Like I shouldn't be allowed to take my daughter swimming. I wouldn't be able to rescue her. So I was like focusing on. I got back and was like, Rubes, we're going to learn to dive to the bottom of the pool because I can't do it, and you can't do it, and we're like both being hindered by this. And we went out there with Sinky toys, and we're like learning together. Like we'd take a turn.
How did you realize you weren't a good swimmer? Was it when you jumped in?
When I nearly fucking died trying to do a whale shark.
Because I had the exact same experience, but I think it was because of I had an anxiety attack, and also it was the coldness of the water. It closed my chest up and I couldn't breathe and I couldn't snorkel, even though I'd done it before, and it was this weird like panic station.
I've noticed
had a puffer and I was all right.
Oh really?
Yeah, but I had that exact same thing while sharking.
Because I noticed that because of there seems to be a point of panic, and if you don't know that you're close to it and you cross over that threshold, it's really difficult to get back. It's like that day is a write-off as far as, and you're gonna have to come back at it another day. That's what I've noticed. So I felt it doing the whale shark thing. I felt it before when I've had, shows coming up, tattoo people to get back to, this debt on me.
I call it invisible weight.
Things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you get to a point where your body is responding to it like it's being threatened.
Yeah.
And you're breathing shallow and shit. So I started learning to like properly calm myself and think more rationally then. But I've noticed with the water thing, it was like a new game, and I wasn't paying attention to it. And I reached that point where I was panicking and sort of hyperventilating.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what really happened. Yeah. I was probably a lot finer than I felt that I was.
I think Chelsea Morgan's advice on that is really potent, where you acknowledge it. You go, fuck, my body's trying to help me.
Yeah.
You go, I acknowledge this is trying to help me, and it used to serve a purpose, but right now, it's not serving its purpose.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be okay. Yeah. Rather than ignoring it or pushing it down or freaking out, you go, cool, this is good. Yeah. This is good. I need this.
Well, how did you handle it the other day? Because you were freaking out a bit about something you had to do for the show.
Yeah. I went for a walk, got a drink, came back. I was like, look, we're going to do it, but I don't know. I
didn't clue onto it.
The way I dealt with it was I communicated with you guys.
Yeah. Because I didn't know until he came back. And I was like, what's going on? Do you know what I thought? I thought something like you're having a fight with someone on your phone or something. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll leave him.
No, I'm pretty frustrated now, though, because the way we ended up doing it, I would have done it as that character because it wasn't a hidden camera thing in the end.
Yeah.
So my whole point was it was going to be a hidden camera thing. There was no rhyme or reason behind it. So I couldn't my logical brain, as even though you guys were saying it was going to be a good shot, I couldn't get that logical brain to shut the fuck up. But the way we ended up doing it, if Whitey or you were filming me, that would have, like when I originally suggested we do it for the film clip, like I was like, oh, if we do it as a film clip, then I can double down. And they were like, no, we got to do it as a hidden. And it ended up not being the hidden camera. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know why we were doing it, to be fair.
So
I didn't know why we were doing it. I was just like,
trust the process.
Trust the process. You guys want this shot.
But yeah, if we had set out to do it the way we did it, then I would have been able to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Much easier.
But you handled it well, though.
It was even worse, I think, because I was the one that was, well, not the worst, but like I was still, everyone was looking at me doing.
But I mean, as in, you handled it well. Like because before that, you didn't think that. So you were having an anxiety sort of attack. You handled it well, I thought.
Yeah, I just hate being a bitch, especially like with Whitey and Tension. It's like they've done so much worse stuff. It was just this one thing. Like, I won't mention what it was, but it was like this one act that I had to do, which is it's nothing.
Dangerous?
No, not at all. It's like it was mad empathy.
Like embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
Oh.
Too much empatheticness for me.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see the logic or
for
the
the person
or
the chicken?
Both.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So the logic behind it was I just couldn't compute, and it was causing this massive like distress response in me. Yeah. But like the other one, like the original Chicken King, when I bought the chicken into the chicken trick, like I was nervous, but I was like, this is going to be funny. I can see the reason behind it. Yeah. So
but I think you handled it well. To be honest, that
the delivery stuff's fucking. I hope that comes out well, man. That's going to look sick. But I tried to do it. Yeah.
Oh no! All I was going to say, all I remember or 18 months ago or something now, the last show, is the one thing that really excites me about this one is, one, how it went, obviously. It was good. But something always triggers me. So when I think back to that show, I always think back to you.
Pinder, when he crushed.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you did. You absolutely crushed. But not on stage. It was just before we went out on stage for the first time. And you were watching on screen. Yeah. And you had this fucking like realization of what the show was, and you were like, "This is fucking banger." I didn't realize, and that got me. That still gets me excited thinking of it.
What was that epiphany?
Because he didn't realize we were like doing all the video stuff and the theater, and we had like Husey out on stage, and it was less just stand-up comedy. It was a full show.
Variety.
I knew that I was doing a spot, but I didn't know.
Like it was a big production.
The theater, I didn't know it was going to look so cool. Like the big intro and shit was like, this is off his dick. Like
that
gets, I get it.
This intro is
so much. Yeah, bro. It's insane.
How long is it?
I think 6 minutes at the moment.
What was the last one?
I think I think it'll be about the same. Yeah, but it's just it's
way more intense.
It's what we've done. Yeah. We've gone above and beyond.
But, I tried to have a little reset last night. I had a little bit of mushroom. And so anytime I have mushrooms, bro, mushrooms will come up. I had some before watching Super Mario Brothers, the movie. The whole movie is about mushrooms.
Oh, of
course.
The whole there's a lot of mushrooms in Mario, isn't there?
Yeah, but the whole movie is around mushrooms. Yeah. So the first scene, for him to improve and be better, he has to have a mushroom. He
has a mushroom,
and then the whole thing, like they defeat him with a different kind of mushroom. Yeah. And then at the end, I'm like, man, this is so fucking like it wasn't. It was more really microdose, but it was like just a nice little level. And then at the end, it goes, the end. But then this other character pulls it away and goes, is it really the end, or is it just a void of nothingness? And I'm like, oh my God. You're like, oh! And then last night, I was watching that Chimp Empire, but before that, I put it on Beef to see that Netflix series.
Oh, yeah. Is it any good?
I don't know. I didn't really like it. Like, it's about 7 or 8 minutes in.
Okay.
And then one of the main scenes, the serving mushroom. Like this whole thing is about serving mushrooms. And then she goes, I prefer magic mushrooms. I'm like, what is it with this thing?
He was sending me jokes, and I was like, I'm going to bed, Delby.
Well, no, I had a thought. It was like, when people go, the mushrooms are talking to me. Yeah. If they were, surely the first thing they would say is, stop eating my family cunt.
Yeah, that's funny. No,
it wasn't that.
And then the second bit was like, you just ate my Uncle Gus. He was really fun. You ate Fungus. And then
he said, no, this was it. This was like, all right, I'm done. You were like, I'm a real fun guy.
No. I said, and my name's Guy. I was named after my uncle because I'm lots of fun. My name's Guy Fun. My parents were Asian.
And you went.
And he went, no.
I'm going to bed.
Done. I was like, good night, Daniel.
You're just sitting there. Everything's about mushrooms.
Yeah.
Everything.
It was, but it wasn't like nothing too crazy, actually. I just was trying to reset, which I think has helped for sure.
That's good.
Yeah. I want to do a bit more of a hero dose.
What were you talking about the other day? You messaged me.
All allegedly, by the way.
You messaged me the other day. What was it, Lee? You were asking about Lee?
Because we were talking about the astrophysics. Yeah, we were talking about those patterns, the repeated patterns in nature, like fingerprints, tree bark, ripples on water.
What do you mean fingerprints?
Things. So it's the same. If you look close at a fingerprint, very similar to those shapes that you see in like tree bark, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Or wood grain and things like that. They're like. So it's a Chinese. Where I heard Alan Watts say it on a thing ages ago. Fun. And he was talking about the like patterns that there is order in, and you see them all through nature, but they are still they're random. You see them in like in that fish there, or in lotus petals. Yeah, it's the same sort of streaks.
Yeah, just the most efficient way of something to be.
To structure
but isn't it weird to see that structure itself all the way through the world?
Yeah,
like in everything.
No,
even
independent
like
of culture.
They say what we know about the known universe and stuff. You zoom out far enough, and it's the same pattern. It's like dude,
that's nuts.
Made of the same patterns. Everything's zeros and ones around here. This is fucking crazy.
This is what I think I set up at Exmouth. It's like the Matrix, isn't it? Like with the telescope that they use.
Yeah.
But if that's all everything that we see is anyway, is just data, is just numbers and figures, it is almost like that, isn't it? It's almost like the Matrix. It's just our senses are picking up on these
you see it sometimes when you
points of data.
You're driving and you think those trees look like broccoli. Broccoli is trees.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Everything's broccoli.
It's like how you can make clouds.
You look closely enough at everything and it's broccoli.
Yeah, you'll make a cloud look like a face or something like that. It's just a fucking cloud.
Yeah. The coolest one that I'm sure you have seen is how the sound frequencies create different patterns.
Yeah. What's that called?
Insane.
I love it. Yeah,
it's where they put the sand or the rice on a board. And
cymatics.
Now, I don't know if that's sound frequency or if that would be a vibration or if vibration and sound, I guess.
Yeah,
they are the same thing.
Everything is vibration.
Well, that's cool. Like, how is that explainable?
Yeah, it is bonkers.
It's almost, you can't. Like, why does the 736 megahertz frequency create that shape?
You think about it, I guess, it would just be symmetry, wouldn't it? Symmetry in all directions.
But
so
why? Why does it have to be symmetrical? You know, like...
I guess, because if a sound is at a non-random point, it would be vibrating the same vibrations in all directions.
What's that fucking thing that Carl Jung said?
Which one?
Remember when he said that thing?
That thing.
He was silent for about 65 years, and then he said that one thing.
That one thing, yeah.
About there being in all disorder a secret order. In all chaos there is a cosmos. In all disorder a secret order.
I agree with that because when I was a teacher, my desk was fucked, but it looked chaotic to you, but to me, I knew.
You knew where all the shit was, and it's annoying when people move it.
Yeah. I didn't mind when people moved it. If the cleaner cleaned it was good, but like, even though it was messy, I knew that.
Yeah, you know where the things is.
Yeah. So there is an order in the chaos.
And some of it's mess, but not the bits that you think it is.
That's right. Yeah.
And Jung's where Watts basically got the majority of his sort of teachings, I guess.
Yeah, I always think it with the planet. This is such stoner stuff to say.
We haven't even smoked on it.
I mean, if you even look at like a volcano and all that fucking like lava and shit comes pouring out of it, and then it dries, and then it goes all like rock like. That's what scabs look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It bleeds,
scab.
and then it scabs over, and then it scars over.
Yeah.
Like, it's repeated fucking patterns everywhere, man.
Yeah.
It's all mushrooms, dude.
Yeah, man. 100. Yeah. Are you doing any Per Comedy Fest shows?
No, not doing it this year.
Are you doing spots?
If spots come up, if I'm needed on something.
Yeah.
I did it a couple of years back, and I enjoyed it. Talk to you more about it after the pod.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not doing anything for it. Maybe I'll do it next year if they ask. They emailed me and asked. Yeah. And I just didn't get around to teeing it all up.
Yeah, cool. If you want to go watch a fucking really funny comic, Skulker is if there's a ticket and you feel like watching a random comedy, he's very different to anything.
Is he on next week?
We got to give him a time. He suggested Sunday, but Sunday's not going to work because I've got Sunday singles.
Where's he
and
from?
I have a daughter.
He's South Africa.
Oh,
so
cool.
he opened for Trevor Noah, and he's got
Magic.
big following, but
Wicked.
super funny. He's one of mine on Legacy.
And is he doing Perth Comedy Festival?
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Skolkid Bison-Hoot.
Fuck.
It's very hard
If
to
ever a
say.
geezer needed a stage name.
Yeah, it's Schalke, Skalke, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
his last name's like Bison-Hoot, but it's like it's just a dyslexic.
I'll
alphabet.
try. Yeah, I'll see if I can get
Did
it.
we
It's
find out
definitely worth
whether
it.
Arj Barker was in town? Because he said he would come on next time. He's here.
Don't know.
Can't remember
to see if he's doing it.
Have to figure that one out. But yeah, I guess there's some good comics in town at the moment for all of that. How long does Perth Comedy Festival go for?
From this weekend till May
Does it start this
24th,
weekend?
I think.
Good lord.
Yeah.
So it's only up 2-3 weeks.
I think
4 weeks.
I think Milo's going to be in town, isn't he?
Milo, you're gonna
Milo McCabe, Troy Hawk.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You should
Oh,
get
ask
him on
him.
it.
Yeah,
if
I'll
you
have to
can.
gig
Fuck,
with him a
he's
ton.
very funny.
Mate, he got.
I'm tattooing him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
He
gonna
did the
tattoo him.
What are you gonna do?
He did
He's
the
getting
F1
like a
stuff.
He's a
Did he?
Yeah.
cool
I'll show
dude.
you.
He's getting a Ganesh thing. You know
Sick.
the elephant?
Yeah.
Hindu elephant thing?
Oh yeah.
He was
Yeah.
the service guy at he's got a fuckload of viral clips where
Yeah, he did
Yeah, the
F1.
the
he
Greeters
greeted
Guild.
them at F1.
Oh, did he
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, and it
Wow.
went fucking
Shoulders back,
they
smash everything.
He-
smashing.
The F1 did it. It wasn't his clip. It was F1's clip.
Wow.
He did it for F1.
Yeah.
That's
It's
sick.
fucking incredible. It went
it's very cool.
bonkers.
Yeah, he's
He's a good guy as well.
Give my best.
lovely dude and a great fucking act.
Yeah.
Yeah, you reek of imperial love.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just-
You look like you're kind to insects, sir.
That's like a reverse roast. It's like
What did he say? He told a man he looked like the sort of man who shared his crisps in the pub.
Yes.
Fucking brilliant.
Toto Wolff came back to him and was like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
Who's Toto Wolff? Is that a driver?
That's a Mercedes head.
Oh, really?
Head of Mercedes.
Andrew Wolff's uncle.
If ever there was a
it's
guy that
team
needed
principal.
a stage name.
Toto, I like Toto Wolff. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Toto Wolff.
Anything else you want to discuss while we're here?
No, I feel pretty good, man. I feel like I've aired out me
It's lovely.
grievances.
It's good to have
I don't
grievances.
I don't want to like harp on too long and become utterly boring. How long have we done?
We've done
hour and a half, I think.
That's
hour,
nice. That's nice.
hour 48.
That's
Yeah.
nice. You chop the first hour off. That's enough.
How was just before you go? How is Kings and Vagabonds going?
Kings of Vagabonds is cool, man. I'm enjoying doing it. It's still in its infancy, you know. We're still working out how to do it, how we like to do it, who we like on there, and you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be. I don't know. I think it's just nice to have a podcast, isn't
It's
it?
fun.
It's
It is.
nice to.
It's nice to talk without phones. Like
It's
put your
certainly
phone
nice
down.
to talk without
Oh,
phones.
that's true.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be forced down conversational pathways that you might not have gone down otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we took the James McCann episode.
Yeah.
Just went, that was
Oh, the one that everyone can listen to
Yeah.
on Spotify.
It just ended up being like, well, the positive is we had a fucking funny 1.5 hour chat with James
Yes.
McCann,
Yeah.
and it was great.
Yeah.
Like it was just fun. It wouldn't have been like the best episode we've ever done or anything, but it was
Yeah.
just a fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, good energy. He's got good
It's
energy.
fantastic.
But yeah, that is it. That's what it is.
And it's cool. I like this podcasting stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm still not entirely sure how to do it. I haven't put the hours into it that you guys have. But it's a patience thing, isn't it? It's like that stuff to start with.
So
You're
what
like,
we're talking about.
fuck, how does this work? How should we be doing that? What should we do? Well, people are not really paying attention to this stuff. There's no really any. It's like, well, don't do it for that. Just try and make a good product and have fun doing
It's
it.
like the
and
boxing and the things we're talking about. You're learning as you go.
Yeah. Little improvements.
I think
all
that's
the
where
time.
we've-
I've had to fucking bite my tongue on millions of puns in the last
He's
3
doing,
months.
you're doing very well, Delby.
And
You're in
It's
recovery.
a different skill.
It's a new skill set. Yeah.
It is.
I think
It sucks, but I know it's better for the listeners.
I think that's what we've ended up leaning into a bit more in regards to we've decided not to do a niche basically anymore. It was like, how can we be different? What can we? Now we're just trying to be the best.
Just be a good part.
Yeah,
From
best
what
we
I
can be.
from what I can say, I was thinking about this the other day because I've recently gotten into Pete Holmes's pod.
Okay.
Is he the porn star?
Yeah, I
Is
just
it?
like hearing about all the dicks. No, he's the comedian. He's an
Oh.
American comedian. Very. Do you ever hear that
Oh,
guy?
Johnny Holmes is porn
You ever
star.
hear the guy that does that really brilliant bit about how nothing makes sense? He's talking about the afterlife. People saying that there's no afterlife because it doesn't make sense. And he goes, you know what else doesn't make sense? This.
Yeah.
Right? And then he goes through, like, just existence in general and molecules. Oh, we're all made of molecules. Oh, okay, I'll never think about that again.
Yeah.
And it's this repeated sort of punchline that doesn't make any fucking sense. Really funny fucking comedian.
Yeah.
And I got into his pod. And I think what I liked, I was listening to him talk to Mark Maron, and I listened to another one where he was talking to Jason Segel. Pods are just, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything. If you like the people, it's like hanging out with them without having to commit to hanging out with somebody.
Yes.
Or somebody that you could never hang out with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a celebrity or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like just listening in on them hanging out. It's some weird voyeuristic thing that eases the isolation of, you know,
fly on the wall.
Yeah, and that's why there's somewhat.
So I don't know that it does need a niche. It's the niche really works in order to find an audience. I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
and it can be a hack sort of thing. I guess it can be like a quicker way to success or whatever. But for someone said, and I think I said this last time on the pod. Someone said, you know, you're trying to be another Joe Rogan. And I'm like, fuck yeah, we're trying to be another Joe Rogan.
I mean. And some people are getting through as well.
Model.
That Chris Williamson guy, the Modern Wisdom guy.
Yeah,
he's like another form of Rogan. He's like a long form pod, talks to the same kinds of people. He was the only other one that Goggins did.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Then
you know
yes,
what I mean?
yeah, he's
guy.
great. Yeah, he's great.
He's got a really good pod, man. But there's, I think if you're doing it too results based, you're gonna continually disappoint yourself because it's like. There are millions of podcasts, and some of them are brilliant, and some of them have access to guests that everybody wants to hear from.
Yeah.
Just do what you think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I like them really silly fucking lad ones that they've got in the UK. There's that Have a Word one. Luke Kidgel was just on it.
Yeah.
It's all Scousers, all Legacy's mates.
Yeah.
And the other one that's Legacy's pals, the was it Hot Water Green Room pod. That's fucking great as well, but it's just a load of lads.
Yeah.
Talking
Horses
bollocks.
for courses.
All that,
And just because you listen to one doesn't mean you're not going to listen to another one.
I like the vibes of all that different stuff. Sometimes I'm like buzzing to listen to Pete Holmes and Mark Maron just hurl abuse at each other and it'd be funny. But then sometimes I'm locked into a 3-hour discourse on dopamine fasting with Andrew Huberman, you know?
Yeah. It's just what you're feeling like at the time.
Just fucking find something that works for you and do it and don't worry too much about the results, I reckon. Oh, that's the approach that I'm taking at the moment. Try and craft it to your own taste without worrying too much whether anybody's going to give you a pat on the head for it.
I think that's what we're doing.
Basically, if you like it,
do anything.
If you like it and it's fun, then keep doing it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Anything to plug? Nothing.
Nothing to plug. Kings and Vagabonds, I suppose.
Yeah.
Tattoo full up, booked.
Tattoos are going good. Buzzing along with tattoos. Got gigs coming up. I'm going to start doing some interstate stuff later on in the year.
Ooh.
Nice.
Or maybe early next year. I'm not sure yet. Depends what happens with this money stuff. If anybody wants to just give me random handfuls of money, I've got this big tax debt I'm trying to pay off.
I want a tat. I'll give you some.
I'll give you more gigs if you need that. So
any gigs that are.
There's a few footy club gigs coming up, so depending on your availability,
you can't do 17th. Unfortunately.
What's this? Who can't do 17th?
You can't.
Oh, can I not? Oh, shit.
I asked you.
Oh, I'm in Karratha, aren't I? I'm doing that gig in Karratha. Shit.
I'm going up there twice.
This month. Karratha? Good Lord, jet setter. Right, well, I'm going up 3 times.
I've just never been. I'm fucking worried.
Anything to plug, Daniel?
Yes, fucking loads. This month is massive. I thought it was going to slow down, but it's gone the opposite way. So got
manifestation.
Yeah, I'll be in Karratha next week. So if you're up there next week and the last week, all different shows. So next week's Star Wars quizzes on May the 4th. I'll be hosting a family-friendly one and an adults one. Then on the 5th, I'm doing date night comedy. I'm running some kids' workshops on freestyle rap and comedy. And then emceeing their big event, then going back up at the end of the month for my solo show, which I'm not sure whether I call 33 Years Single or not up there because I don't want to alienate the blokes from coming. So I think it'll just be like comedy with Daniel Delby. Up and Joke is the week after, second week of May. Harry Potter quiz. And then the week after that, my solo Perth's Most Eligible Bachelor Perth Comedy Fest show, which will be a mix of date night comedy and 33 Years Single. With some games. And then also I'll be on Perth Comedy Fest Gala. So I'm hoping to meet some of the big dogs on the 17th. Hopefully. Because I think it's a gala once every week.
Something like
potentially.
That. Yeah,
so whoever's in town, hopefully make some cool ones. That should be good. I'm just going to figure out.
Is that Regal Theatre?
Yeah, I think I should. I'll probably have to do my freestyle because that's what sets me apart. So I'll do that. Yep. And then I'm emceeing Greatest Comedy Show on Earth at Rechabite 3 nights in a row, I think it is as well from that. So it's a massive month. So yeah, get tickets, let your friends know, please.
Cool.
All that stuff is at Daniel Delby, and then hit my link in my bio.
I've got just Up and Joke, I think, to be honest. So Up and Joke in 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. Fuck. Okay,
Varsity.
Cool. We better get onto that. So 2.5 weeks, May 13th, Varsity Bar, Whitford. So that's going to be fun.
Just had a thought.
Yeah?
I did have a little plug.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Me and Grant Mushet are doing a new material thing together.
Sick.
Oh.
Where at?
It's going to be at the Craft.
Awesome.
Northbridge. I cannot remember the date.
So just jump on.
But if you follow me Instagram, I'll post it soon. It's going to be me and him doing a load of new stuff.
Sick. Like that naked material night we did.
Yeah, something like that.
Awesome.
It's like half hour each or something like that,
Cool.
I should think.
That's great.
And that should be pretty cool. I think it's called the New Gear Show.
Okay.
Nice. You get all meth heads rocking
Yeah,
up.
all the heads in Northbridge as well.
The other feedback I have actually for you is a few people have asked where or when you're gigging next. So have you got
I've
something?
just got a website made. Soph just made me a website, jonpinder.com. It's got gigs on there.
Perfect.
It's got the gigs on the website,
jonpinder.com.
Because you've got fans, bro. You know?
Well, I thought we were friends.
And then B32 Media, my business. Hit me up for any videos that you want made.
Also, the B32s, good band.
Is it? B30 or
B52?
Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a play on words. B32
it's
Media.
A tribute act.
They sing 20 less songs.
Stone videography.
Stone Lobster.
Yeah.
So if you want to support us, we'll do this in pre as well. Please jump on YouTube and subscribe to the Hard Yarns podcast. That will
you're
help
watching
us
it right
out.
now. Yeah.
And if you want to listen to any of the episodes we were talking about from Exmouth, it's all on Patreon. We got 5 new episodes going up. So there's already 3 out there and 2 are processing. So
classic.
Lots of bonus episodes for the Patreon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Boy.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.